or Seven Deadly or Ruby.
Really? He didn't do 7 Deadly?
No.
No, Seven Deadly was during the holidays.
Yeah, it was too awkward. That was also during like my BCS season too. When that dropped.
Wait, no, it dropped in December, right?
Yeah, that was like
I had,
New Jersey
there were
and
like people
New
here or
York
whatever.
Oh, okay.
and stuff like that happening in December. Oh,
I think all our regionals finished like by mid-November, end November.
Yeah.
Now EU's the last.
I remember last year there was like 2 NA regionals in
right at
December.
the end. It was so fucking
Spring
fun.
Fests are done for US
Yes,
Yeah,
you
they-
guys still have
they
UK.
haven't been
When's UK?
this weekend.
Ah,
That's
so tomorrow.
the last one in Europe. Yeah. Yeah, I only attended like 3 this time
Same.
because I also did like Pokemon tournaments and it's just like too much. And my
I
team
wanna
went
go
1,
to
2,
Pokemon
3.
tournaments. They're too hard. They're too hard to get into.
What's going on with my Steam? There we go.
Like every time I try to like apply for a Pokemon region, like one of the events there, they instantly sell out. It's like actually miserable.
It's usually not like that, but some locations are like cringe AF. And like NAIC, for example, I think there were like 3,500-ish people trying to apply for 2,200 spots. And yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people missed.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the one that was like near my state and then sold out like within the same day, and I was just like, oh, because I didn't even know what deck I wanted to play, so I didn't want to sign up for it yet.
That's what happened with me trying to play One Piece. I like tried to sign up for a tournament, instantly sold out. Tried to sign up for an online tournament, instantly sold out. Okay, nice game.
Oh, they have
It
restricted
was so
slots.
funny. Well,
They have caps.
We were in when we were at the BCS over here. Some of Carmen's locals were trying to sign up for a One Piece tournament online, and they were just like they literally within like a minute when they opened, the queue was like 5,000 people, and it was a 2,000 attendance thing. And he's like, "Oh, cool. Guess I just don't get to play."
Yeah. And actually, like the craziest part is, we even have like sign-ups for locals for One Piece because the shop isn't big enough. So you actually don't even get to play every week. You get to play every other week.
You have to like fight to go there and be like, can I play this week?
It's actually stupid, yeah.
That game's blowing up.
just
It's
dropped
actually
it again.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly love the game, but I didn't hate it either.
It's alright. It's like it's more similar to Weiss and Pokemon than it is to like Magic or something like that. But
Chris looking a little extra cute today, says Paru.
thank you, Paro. Where is Oh, I should
If I open Twitch.
Yeah.
We'll give it a couple minutes for people to trickle in. If people do.
I'm gonna grab water.
I don't know how many people come watch stuff on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evenings. You think more people are free, but usually weekdays that people are actually more free because they don't have any plans on weekday nights. I think this weekend's pretty big, right? There is Father's Day. Oh, for North America, there's Father's Day this weekend. So, thank you, Mr. Voldar11, for the follow.
Yeah, it's interesting because Father's Day was last weekend here.
Yeah, I didn't know we had that from
Feels
Father's
a
Day.
bit random that it's like different, but
Yeah, I think we do it like every second Sunday.
second weekend of June, no? But it's third weekend of June for you guys, I guess.
Yeah, but we usually have it around this time, always.
Yeah, here it's always the second weekend of June, and I guess for you guys it's the third weekend of June then.
Well, like we'll never have it on like the 24th or something like that. I don't know. I guess the latest it would be if we do it third week of June would be
Around
21st. 21st
Yeah.
would be like the latest possible. Or I get yeah.
I'm alive again.
Hello there. Thank you for having an episode at decent time for us Europeans. You're welcome. Anyone in the audience going to the United Kingdom, the UK, for the BCS this weekend? That's cool. Oh, that's another thing. This weekend's BCS for some Europeans.
Yeah, actually tomorrow.
Mm.
So, but yeah, like because you guys have an European on, I guess we now get to do it at a reasonable time for Europeans.
True.
Yeah, the only problem with Europeans, we have to do it on the weekend because me and Jason literally cannot do it earlier because of work.
Worky boys.
Yeah, I mean for me it's also like during the week not really possible.
Unfortunate. Well, luckily we got this time set up today.
Don't have to do the top tier cast at 3 in the morning anymore. Holy fuck. That was always so good.
Oh man, top tiers are literally the worst because it's you, Elf, and Tom, all different time zones.
Australia, NA, and Europe. It's actually
The most cringiest, the most cringiest time zone TriCast.
Somehow we made it work, but usually one of us just died.
One of you guys had to sacrifice. You know, it's probably usually you.
Usually me, sometimes Tom, yeah. And Alfred gets the pass because he's like...
The guy running it.
Yeah, and he was like... I think he probably had the hardest work, to be honest. Doctor.
Doctor. But for a doctor, my man's on Discord quite often.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen much recently, actually. It only comes on just post whoopers and dip. Oh. Wasn't even quite happy. Check Killer's place, he's hiding them. What am I hiding? Oh, the Zuko PRs? Okay, this guy. Asking where you can get the Zuko PRs.
Is it Zuko PR? Is it the EP?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
only
EP.
we know.
Oh, okay.
It's like actually playable. I mean, it's not like
It's not
core
necessary.
for any deck, but it's nice to have for like a couple decks.
Like if we do get a meta where tap counter is really strong, stuff like that's really nice. But when
Yeah,
the
but you
meta
can
is
also
hot,
just use the one cost sponsor.
true.
And like the top and the Katara decks are gonna be like wall decks anyways to like try to shut up tap counter like that. And also Katara can be hexproof. And
Oh yeah, Qatar has
yeah, the
that
Aang
too.
deck probably just uses the bouncer.
I completely forgot that card was hexproof, I'm gonna be honest.
Well, the bouncer is yellow though, so
Yeah.
if you want to run more reds, then the EP's
Yeah,
there.
also you like tap counter is kinda hard to deal with in the set. For the set in general, probably.
Mhm.
But the thing is like most sets that don't have like an easy out to tap counter.
Most sets just gonna have to just side one lane if they really want to.
Everyone can be puzzle and dragons.
Yeah, I mean, some decks just have everything, I guess.
Oh, you see a lot of decks are just playing clock removal, just so that pad literally gets no
Just for the drop
playables.
search.
Yeah.
Drop search hurt. That's what I was saying, man. Like you hit that zero, you hit that drop search, and like it can be really bad if they don't draw good. It hurts. It's spooky.
I've watched my locals just died because they brick hand.
Yeah, sometimes your level 0 hand is like fucking unplayable, and it doesn't help that your what is
The
it? The
Aang is actually also like pretty
oh,
solid,
that card's actually pretty good. Yeah, the 35. That card's good.
Yeah. Especially because you have like either one or two back row depending on what you play that pumps it cross turn.
Oh.
So it's like
Wait, what was the
Actually,
condition on
hard
that?
to
You
kill.
need 2 other characters?
one other, right?
Was it one or? Alright, we'll find out.
Yeah, it was.
Or
I think it
maybe
was just like
it's
level
like-
0 needs another.
I'm not sure if it even needs another. Maybe it just needs everything to be Avatar. It's like
Fine.
a easy condition.
If it is, that's pretty good.
Alright, Yavi. Compared to last time you were on the show, you won't have to argue with 2 other people at once.
Oh god, that was so funny. Though.
So this time, Jason will just read a card. I'll give a generic descriptor, and you the floor is yours to go more in depth about the card and give your rating.
Okay.
You won't be fighting with arguing this card's a 2 or a 5.
I'm fine with fighting. It's fun.
It was
will
very
usually-
fun.
The problem with the fighting is that it makes everything take forever.
Yeah.
That's like the only issue. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Bitsol for the follow. I'm sorry for butchering your name.
I will try to be quick with the cards.
That's good. That's good. All right. It is now 10 minutes after stream started, so let's get started now. Hey guys, Kevin here from the Strictly Broken TCG team, and welcome to the best ever Weiss Schwarz set review show, episode 49.5. We do 0.5 for English original sets. We have Avatar the Last Airbender. Usually on the show we do Japanese sets, but for English originals, sometimes we'll go over them because they're brand new cards to the Weiss Schwarz games. We like to give our first initial reaction to all the cards as they come out, so that you can start making decisions and about what you should play with these new sets.
Bye. Yeah.
Play or buy with these new sets. Thank you to our sponsors, Nova TCG, best place nowhere for Japanese products, but this is an English set, so you won't find Avatar in Nova TCG. You can find Avatar on Strictly Broken TCG instead. And thank you to YC Time. They create the slides for us so we can do these shows. And they are also a great place on the internet for content. For English specifically, she does ruling stuff, and she posts all the topping decks for any of the English competitive tournaments like BROs, BSFs, and BCS. With me today, we have Mr. Jason Malik, my usual co-host. And our guest for this week, we have a special one, also part of Strictly Broken. We have Christian Yarbacher. Introduce yourself.
Hello. I'm Christian. I think most people know me. If you don't know me, I've been around for like quite some time. Always go to Worlds. Always do well. Yeah. Play this game a lot and talk about this game a lot. Not as much recently. Don't really do content anymore, but I'm gonna slowly try to get back into it now. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
This guy has been around since the dawn of time, probably before any of the viewers here have started playing Weiss.
Not that long. It's like 10 years.
It's not just 10 years. It's just 10 years. It's been since 2013, back when English had only the Skya.
No, English had Madoka and Sao back then already.
Oh, it's 2013.
And
2011
PDF
was only this
maybe.
guy. Yeah.
But I didn't
Oh,
play
yeah.
English back then, so yeah, I don't.
Game you started with not English? That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was long time ago, yeah. Before like
Just
rewrite meta, before around Nisekoi came out, JP. Nisekoi,
Nisekoi,
Kanko.
2014?
Yeah. Right before then. Aware.
Yeah, okay. Let's start with the TD cards, I guess.
Oh no, we'll go over our rating scale first.
Rating scale, yeah.
So we give cards from 1 to 5. 1 stars are cards that are not worth buying. These are pack fillers. Don't think about them. 2 stars are pretty good cards, but they're mostly niche or text for specific decks. You might play 1 or 2 of.
Situational and just go in one deck, yeah.
3 stars is the rating we give to testing cards. These cards could be really good, or they could also just be niche. We had to play around with it first to find out. So pick these up if you're interested in testing them out. 4 stars are cards that are pretty staple. They're not amazing, but they're always going to be good cards that you want in your deck. Stuff like Ricky's, Early Play Healers, Brainstorm, stuff like that. And 5 stars are your bread and butter of the set. These are going to be the cards that you look towards to build a deck around or make you want to buy the set in general. With that being said, are you guys ready to start TDs?
Yeah.
All right. First off.
All right. So our first card is Aang and Zuko. It is continuous. If there's a marker underneath this, it's get 3k power. And when this is put on stage from hand, you reveal a top card of your deck. If it's an event or a World of Avatar character, you may put it underneath it as a marker. So it's just a 4K.
Yeah, a 4K that can compress you one technically. They've been seeing plays recently.
Initsuki?
Yeah. Some decks want like in some sets it's like the best oversize because it keeps utility until like mid-late game. Downside being that it can whiff. But this one also markers events at least. It's like not really in a good color because you never really need to color fix for yellow because you have the JC. But there's like a world where some deck wants this probably. Like I've put it in 8 standby, but I'm not sure if I would keep it in 8 standby, but it's like a place I would put the card in. So yeah, it's probably just a 2. Like these are like reasonable to pick up. And I think the TD comes with 4 anyway.
TD comes 4. That's good. I never know
So
TD ratios.
Yeah.
I actually also didn't open the TDs yet, but I just assume it's
If
4.
It
There's
is
also
a 4
a
of.
foil inside. Like
it's
the-
not foil, it's usually 4.
All right, next card.
Um,
Zuko. 1-0. This cannot side attack. Accelerate. Put a World of Avatar character from your waiting room to the bottom of your clock. Beginning of your climax phase, you can pay the cost. If you do, look at the top card of your deck. Put it on the top of your deck or into the waiting room, and this card gets the following ability until end of turn. When this card's battle point is reversed, you may salvage a Katara's Necklace event or a World of Avatar character from your waiting room.
Nice card.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
cigarettes event.
huh. Alright.
Yeah, Katara's Necklace is cigarettes. So we'll
Yes,
talk about
Katara's necklace is a cigarette that we'll talk about later. This card is a plussing level 1 that doesn't require a climax combo, but you do have your reverse.
Yeah, it's kind of small, but the set actually has like a lot of power pumps, like a lot of power pumps. So this is like reasonable to enable. In theory, you could use like this. You could use the Aang level 1, the green one. That's like the Mel from Hololive. But I'm not sure. I didn't put this card in anything yet. It didn't really feel like playing this over a level 1 combo, and because it still requires you to punch yourself for the plus, and I think it's hard because like a lot of the level 3 packages are like very big in a set, and you have to play one of the level 3 packages because you don't really have good off CX level 3s. Like you want one of the level 3 packages to be like your build around basically. And the good level 2 packages with the combos also require like a lot of space. So it's like you can't really play like Toph and like Aang or something, like Toph level 3 and Aang level 3. So I think it's like there isn't really a home for this type of card. Or at least I didn't put it in anything yet, but it's like a reasonable card.
Yeah, I like it.
So currently he doesn't have any ideas to put it in for a deck, but you know, it is a good enough card that you might consider playing it. What would you rate out of 5?
Like if it, like 2 probably, same as the other card. Like if it can fulfill a niche for your deck, I'm just not sure what deck really wants like off CX plussing the 1. Because you also need to support this like a bit with power pumps. You already played a JC, but I'm not sure if you run like other pumps in whatever deck you're putting this in.
Alright, sounds good. Thank you, August59, for the follow. Alright.
Alright, next card, Katara. 0-0 Katara, when this is put on stage from hand, draw the top card of your deck. If it's an event or World of Avatar character, put it into your hand, then choose a card in your hand, put it in the waiting room. And this, on attack, you give it a World of Avatar character 1500 power.
Fine card, can dig for events, but it's nothing crazy, I would assume.
Yeah, I think nothing really wants this. Like there isn't really an event that's like good enough that you really want to draw it, especially early. And like the 1500 power is okay, but it's not like that relevant at level 0, and you already have the JC that pumps 2k, and that's just like a better card. So
True.
I mean it's still like it's not a terrible card, but I think it's unlikely that you will play this in anything. So it's still like I guess 1.5 stars or something.
Alright, sounds good.
Alrighty, next card. We got Katara and Sokka. Level 0. If you're level 2 or higher, this gets the following ability. Act. Pay 1, put this card put one card from your hand to the waiting room, put this into your waiting room. Choose one Aang avatar state in your hand, put it on stage in the card the slot was in, and it is an assist 5.
So if you're not sure what Aang Avatar State is, it is the level 3 of the deck. It's also a climax combo that doesn't require much cost. So if you this is an early play, a way to early play your finisher.
Yeah, I mean it's basically like Hinalogi, kind of, sort of Hinalogi Light with the Merlin, because like the Aang level 3 search is on play. But actually, this is like -2 because you sack this and ditch a card and then play the Aang from hand, and the Aang replaces one, but it's still like you lost 2 cards.
It's
So,
a -1 at the end.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
-1 at the end, but only because the Aang already plus, so you don't really like necessarily have the on play effect. It's quite costly. Yeah, didn't really. Like the other problem with that package is that like the Aang level 3 is like decent at level 2 because it gets like big, it burns a bit of extra damage, but it doesn't really scale that well into like the turn after that because it still like caps out at being like a burn 1, and there aren't really like good cards to support it. Like the best thing you could use is like, because it's big, it wins the lane, it doesn't cost stock, so maybe you can use the tap counter. Not tap, bounce. Yeah, it's 2 for bounce one of the opponent's characters.
Yeah.
Um,
That was quite
that's like
expensive
the
though.
only thing. Yeah, that card is kind of expensive. Also requires you to go green. But it's like not that hard to go green in that deck because you will just use like the 2/1 top back row and like the top brainstorm, and you have the green requirement. So yeah, that's like the only way I can see that card, this package like going into something. Because again, like this is again a package that like eats up a bunch of space, and you also have to play like this shitty card, which doesn't really do anything until level 2.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. Early play conditions like this are usually quite bad because it's a -2. The only time it's good was in Overlord, because Overlord is able to consistently keep at least 1/9s in rotation all the time.
Yeah, because like Overlord is like unkillable once it gets out.
Yeah, the only the thing here is more volatile to removal.
It's like
Yeah.
it's okay, but probably not worth like all the stuff you have to commit into.
All right, we'll just rate this.
In part because the level 3s are not that good, like the off CX level 3s in the set.
Just a 2?
Yeah, 2. It's fine.
Yeah, it's okay card for TD at least.
Alrighty. Next card we have Aang the Boy Trapped in Ice. I don't know why I read that one. 0/0. Fly your character to the world of Avatar. This gets 1k power. It's a 3k, and then it is pay 1, drop 1. When this card is played on stage from hand, you may search your deck for a world of Avatar character to drop search.
Yeah, I think this is the only drop search in the set, and it being a 3k drop search is quite fine.
Wait, is it really?
Yeah, it's 3k.
Yeah. It's 3k.
No,
and,
no,
like,
I didn't know.
no,
it
it's
was
the
only
only drop search, pretty sure. You have
Yeah.
drop salvages, but
Yep.
this is the only drop
Yeesh.
search. But it's like a good card.
Yeah.
You don't really need it in a lot of things because you usually will just play like a bunch of Rikis, like Sokka Riki and Zuko Riki. But this scales like better into the mid and late game. And yeah.
Yeah, not bad to have one of.
Yeah, I think picking up 1 or 2 of these is like worth it. I don't think you will ever put in more than 2 in anything, but like having 1 or 2 is like pretty nice, I think. If you can find the space.
Just a 2 though.
Yeah, 2.
Drop searches are probably solid 2 cards, to be honest.
Nice tech. 1 and 2 of tech in most decks.
Alrighty. Sokka, 2/1. During your turn, this gets 1k for each of your other World of Avatar characters. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, if there's a climax in a climax area, you may choose a World of Avatar character when you and stock it.
Huh, this thing only scales to 4k if you have full, 11k if you have full board.
11k.
Because it's other characters instead of all your characters.
Yeah, this is like similar to a Hololive TD card that sometimes sees play. It's like a cheap way to play the mid game if you already plan on slamming climaxes. And there's like 8 pens and 8 bar decks, and this is like a cheap way to have field presence without actually losing any resources. You probably won't play this, but it's like a card that exists if you want like if you have like some resource like heavy top end, or you want to like conserve a lot of resources for, I don't know, either the tap counter or not tap, like the bounce counter or something else that's expensive. Like this is like a way to fight back for the board that's like doesn't actually cost you anything. 1.5 or 2 or whatever.
Okay.
Like very niche, but it's a card that exists and that you can play.
Alrighty. Aang Avatar State. 3/2. When played on stage from hand, you may search your deck for up to one World of Avatar character, reveal it to your opponent, add it to hand. And then on attack, if you have the climax in the climax area, 2 or more other World of Avatar characters, you deal 1 damage and gets 1k till the end of your opponent's turn.
So yeah, it's on play search. So and it's your card that you summon off with the 0/0 we saw earlier. That can early play this. You can search like other copies of itself, so you can end up having 1 card convert to 3 copies of itself, and it's 11k off turn.
Yeah, like search is probably like the best ability this could have gotten. Maybe salvage is like reasonable, like equal or like, yeah. So search is pretty good on this, but like it doesn't make the card great still. Like if the EP condition was better, this would probably be pretty solid. But yeah, as is, it's okay. This SP looks pretty cool though.
Yeah, okay, the SP for the card actually does look really cool. I do remember.
At least with the other way the EP worked, is that you could possibly chain this, have this search out for one of the other 0/0 or a copy of itself,
Yeah.
so that you can somewhat double early play.
Yeah, I think
At
double
level
is
2.
hard with this. You only need like 3 pieces, right? And then
Yeah.
the second one searches the other one, and then the second one searches a counter. Something.
Yeah. Alright, what would you give this one?
Yeah, 2.
2. 2 is fine. Alright, I guess last TD card.
Alrighty, this is a 3/2 Katara. If you have 2 more of the World of Avatar character, this gets 500 power in the following ability. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay 1. If you do, choose this card and one of your other World of Avatar characters and exchange them. And then on play, heal 1.
Healer for the TD, while also being a field swap. I know this is a profile that some decks like to play, especially standby decks. Just protect your cards.
Yeah, and this is also like one of the only healers that doesn't eat your hand. Because like Aang level 3 heals, of course, but that's a climax combo. Then you have like Toth that heals and burns 1 on direct. Like pay 1, ditch 1, burn 1 on direct. And you have this one. This one has like utility for standby, of course. Like field swaps can be pretty strong. And it's also has like a bit of utility with the Katara event that you can pick this one up to heal. That deck. It's a tech one-off in some decks. I think standby can play this, but usually won't, because the way that the standby decks feels like are being built is like with a very aggressive top end, and this card doesn't fit like that type of standby deck that well, and would rather like play into like sort of defensive game plan with like memory kick counter or like bounce counter. So I'm not sure if this card will be good in the standby decks for this set, but it's like it's a healer that doesn't cost hand, which is like worth something. Yeah, can be played in some decks as a one-off usually.
Yeah, I think most people, how they're going to play a standby decks is going to be sort of like a quintuplets or a Nijisaki style, where you just try to kill your opponent's board and turbo out standby targets, but you're not really trying to defend board as hard as usual in standby decks.
Oh yeah, it's like the other thing. Not only like are the standby decks built to like kill the opponent, also like your level 2s are not that great, like for keeping board. So yeah, it's a bit hard to put this in a standby deck, but it's if you can make it work, it's like not bad because you in theory you also have like the frontal scry, so you could make something with like this and the frontal scry, and like because your counters turn into like lethal punches, you get to like scry a bunch, so it's data life-esque, I guess. Yeah.
That is true.
We will get to that card.
All right, we'll just read this one.
2.
Okay. Sounds good.
TD,
Oh, okay.
TD.
Now the actual last TD card.
All right. 1-0 Katara's Necklace. Put the top 2 cards of your deck in the waiting room. Salvage a level extra lower. X equals to the total level mill. So this is cigarettes event that we mentioned before.
This is one of the few costless mill that's not require you to play quad color. And it's like a decent card that can grab you any level 0 at the worst.
Yeah. But it also requires like deck slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think this is like kind of playable in like the sock up level 1 combo decks. I don't think you really want to put this in anything else. But maybe there's like a deck that really wants mill and that doesn't want to play like the Aang level 1 that mills 4 on play. Because if you only play 2 colors, the card is like a bit meh. But like in 3 color decks, the Aang level 1 is actually alright, because like a reasonable number of time it's gonna be like a 6/5 twin drive that milled 4, so it kind of milled 5.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Mill, if your deck needs mill, this is like here. And it also like fixes your 0s or 1s.
Like I said, it seems like quad color is like the only one that gets the luxury of free mill. Well, we'll do this.
2, same as the other.
Yep.
All right.
Every TD card got 2, I think.
I think so.
So yeah, TD overall has been like a bunch of cards that are like nice pickups, but nothing gamifying.
You can play this.
We don't go over all TD cards just because of the fact that there's a lot of TD cards and a lot of them are printed to be, not the best card. So
I'm not sure. Did I forget to send it to you? But we missed one card. Actually, probably the best card in the TD.
Which one?
The Yue, like Sokka's girlfriend.
Oh, the 1K and you tap to give power, or something like that.
It's like tap to give 1/5, so it's an act enabler for like the startup decks, and it also pumps 1 soul when you play a CX.
Yeah, I think you might have missed it then. So there's that card that exists. It's also a good card to enable act.
Deck, it's pretty good. Like in the startup decks, it's pretty good, and in the other decks, I'm not sure. Maybe in standby you can use like the soul, but probably not. But yeah, in the tough deck, that card is pretty good.
Yeah, you can tell this guy's an old Weiss boomer because he still calls it startup.
Oh, it's act.
Yes, act. Back in the Heart of Card days when the Heart of Card translated all to startup instead of act.
Yeah, and brainstorm is concentration.
Ooh,
That
was horrible. All right, and that is all for the TDs for now. We'll go straight into yellow.
Woo. All right, first card 0/0 Aang. When this tags, if all your characters are World of Avatar, choose a character, and that character gets 2,000 power till the end of turn. And then pay 1, sack this. When your other World of Avatar character is frontal attack, you pay the cost. If you do, return that to hand. So this is a middle school Shinobu.
Yeah, so some people call it JC, some people call it Shinobu. These kind of profiles are always nice because it lets you try field while keeping like using a brainstorm or something as a try field and bouncing the brainstorm back to hand or stuff like that. Easy way to try field while plussing. And 2K pump is going to be relevant all throughout the game.
Is full power no auto the first type of this effect? Like actually, you would maybe call it that, but I'm not sure.
It was the first,
but Shinobu
printed.
was the first one that saw like meta relevance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like very good card. Like you definitely should pick up 4 of this, and you put this in like almost every deck. It fulfills like multiple roles because like, it lets you try field. It lets you just like
have a power pump.
Get like an extra plussing 0. It's a 2K pump, which is relevant at level 0 for killing stuff, but also helps your level 1 scale stuff. and also helps your level 3 scale stuff sometimes. Yes, actually like one of the best secondary effects I think we got on a JC. The only thing that would make this like more cracked is if we got a clean cut. That would have been actually insane. But it's
Yeah,
still a very good card. You
Did this
put like
not get a clean cut?
no, it did
No.
not. Like
I was
the idea of
hoping
clean
for a
cut.
clean cut for so long.
Yeah,
till
the
you
idea of clean cut, you
show
can
up.
like you can pump the clean cut with your
Yeah,
clean
that'd
cut
be
your
pretty sick,
JC back,
actually.
and just loop it.
Actually, like you can with this you can do like a bunch of like funny things, and also this sort of enables the top level 0 combo, because you get the top level 0 combo to like 7k or something, and then you just bounce it back in the next turn, do it again. There's like a lot of cool things, and also like right now we don't have a lot of reverse effects, but like between this and like there's a lot of cards in yellow that let you like move around stuff because airbenders are slippery. You could like play around reverses a lot.
Okay,
That's
that
good
is
sounding.
pretty sick though. Yeah, if there were more like relevant reverse effects, at least it'd probably be a bit better. But all the same, this card is pretty good. What do you rate this card, Yabi?
Yeah, 4 stars. Like
Four
this only
stars?
doesn't get 5 stars because it's like not that interesting, right? But it's staple
It is
card.
definitely not interesting.
You buy 4, and you put like 3 to 4 in basically every deck.
All right, we know what is interesting. This next card.
All right, 3-2 Aang. This is the big combo everybody was talking about. On play, you may put the top card of your deck in the waiting room. Pay 1, put a card from your hand to the waiting room. When this attacks, if the climax is in the climax area and all your characters are World of Avatar, you can pay cost. If you do, put the top 4 cards of your deck into the waiting room. If the total number of colors revealed among them is 2 or more, you put 2 cards from your opponent's waiting room back into their deck. If it is then 3 or more, you burn 3. And if it is 4 or more, you put the top card of your opponent's deck into their clock. In that order.
Yeah. So people are sometimes confused about this effect. You do get all 3 of them if you hit 4. So I know I remember seeing some people confused, like how come you only get how come I can't get the burn 3 and the top deck, but you do. So
You do it all.
yeah, so it is a payoff if you do commit to building a deck that boosts the chance of milling 4 colors. There is a way to also increase the amount of mills you get on this.
Yeah. So this mills 5 basically always and not 4.
Yeah.
Which is like the only way this card is
Spoilers.
playable, but it actually makes the card like pretty playable. It requires you to like build your deck around it. Actually not as much as you would think. Like from the simulations we've seen, you can actually like get away with like a somewhat uneven color spread. Because you also have to account like a bunch of Aangs will be like you lose like 5 yellow cards just by
True.
doing the combo. And usually the way you would set it up is that you will try to like mill down to low deck size, guarantee 1 with the Momo shuffle back, like 1 full effect, and then just let the other 2 be random. And the random ones will like hit the shuffle 2, burn 3 like 70-80% of the time. And that's good enough. Sometimes you like high roll and hit the extra clock kick, but that's like not necessary for the card to be good. Like just the shuffle back, burn 3, shuffle back, burn 3, shuffle back, burn 3 clock kick is like already very strong.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Like the only not downside, but like it kind of sucks that this card heals. Like every other on play effect would have been better for this, I'm pretty sure. Because you heal and then you
Yeah.
mill your entire deck and then you just die the next turn anyways because you fucked your compression. So that's
This would have been cool if it was actually the same shuffle, the same heal that Puzzle and Dragon got, where it's the heal
shuffle
character from
bottom
your
of
clock to
the deck.
bottom.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that would have been pretty sick.
Yeah,
Would have also been a way to make it more interesting. Yeah.
like be able to
But
mill down to
it's
1 and then
alas.
just healing the colors you need.
Yeah, that was always like that's always one of the strongest things with Nay is you just start healing soul triggers. You're like, well, I'm gonna hit those cards, so it's just free.
Like I remember watching my pad players, they'll play the Hana clock, search out non-trigger, and then they'll clock a trigger so they can heal the trigger back into their deck.
Yeah, it feels so strong.
Yeah, it's like at first people were like pretty down on this. I think now that lists are starting to get like a bit better and more refined, it seems like a playable deck. and it's probably the thing people are most excited for. So I think that's something that will get tested a lot. I don't think this is gonna be the best Avatar deck.
Neither
But
do
it's
I.
probably, but it's probably like a fun deck, and it's not bad. So
Yeah, this is a deck. If you wanted to play it, I would respect it.
Also, this has like a really sick foil art.
Yeah, the SEC for this is beautiful.
It is.
All right, we'll just give this.
I think 4 is actually okay. It's like the power. Actually, 4 is maybe staple, maybe 3 or 3.5. Because this is
Yeah,
like
threes
good for
are
this-
pretty solid.
like on the other. This is like 3.5/meta because this is like kind of like what would draw you to play this set because you want to play this card, right?
Mhm.
But it's not
I do agree.
that
Yeah.
strong. It's like fair. So yeah.
Yeah, you're not looking at this card being like, I want to play it because it's broken. You're looking at this card and you want to play it because it's just so cool.
Yeah, there isn't too
Actually,
many.
it's like very funny that like people basically exactly predicted this effect. Like
Yeah, that was a pretty
It's gonna
obvious
do
effect.
something if you mill 2, 3, and 4. Not like which effects, but like that was the effect that it was gonna get.
Yeah, people who have played Weiss for a while could sort of predict
Yeah,
this.
you could feel the flavor coming. Like,
I wish the set had like a second choice level finisher that's not this as well. Just so you have a way to
Yeah,
play a
just see
choice.
more options.
Because the A choice is literally like non-viable deck because you're playing too much yellow for this
He's
card
playing
now.
too much yellow.
Yeah.
It's like actually not a big problem, but like a gripe I had with the set is like how limited they made the level 3s and how like each level 3 basically like each color got like one level 3 climax combo. That makes like it restricts some stuff. For example, like the Appa choice combo is actually really sweet. I think it's a legitimately good combo.
But there
it's
isn't too
really
many
hard to make
decks.
that card work
Yeah.
because the Appa is also like a I will get to it when we get to the Appa. I guess.
But there's like not too many like level 3s that would take advantage of it.
Yeah, it like doesn't work that well with the other level 3s. The only level 3 that it would like kind of work with is this one, and one
And
other
then it
one that
doesn't
does it too with
because-
Upper, and then it doesn't because it's
Too much
how
yellow.
the other level 3 works.
All right, that's good. Let's go on to the next.
All right, 1-0 Aang. When this spell unseats from hand, put the top 4 cards of your deck into the waiting room. If the total number of colors revealed is 2 or more, this gets 2k power until the end of turn. And this is 3 or more, this card gets the following ability: pay 1 when this attacks. You pay the cost. If you do, Twin Drive.
Did
If
yellow
you have
real?
4 colors, you may choose a.
Yeah, go continue.
Oh, if you have 4 or more, you may choose a World of Avatar character in your waiting room and put it into your stock. This card's actually kind of sick.
Did Avatar really not get a rare level 0? Because usually, yeah, a rare level 0 come
No, in yellow.
before
No.
this. Yeah.
No, actually, is
Yeah.
the Appa not rare? The Momo is the climax.
The climax swap is
Swap or
not.
not rare?
Apparently, you get climax swap is not rare. Then
Okay, that's
The
a
Appa's a
rare
2/1, right?
card.
it's like a
full
rare
color. Yeah.
rare level
Yeah,
card.
that's a good card.
But it's not a rare card. Well,
Okay.
on the other hand,
Wow.
this card is a 6/5 with twin drive most likely because you're most likely to mill
yeah.
4 of this, but then I'm gonna mill 3
Three
different
options,
colors
but-
off of this. But then sometimes it'll randomly get you one stock.
So, like, even if you don't play 4 colors, the floor of this is like it's a 6/5 that milled 4.
Uh,
The thing is, it always mills exactly 4, so that can be a bit awkward. Like, especially once you hit second deck or something, sometimes you won't want to play this down. But if your deck needs mill, this is like by far the most efficient card to do it. Like just ignore the stalking thing; it's not gonna happen.
but if it does,
If it does, it's like cool.
Mhm.
I'm also a bit surprised because I think like for this card to hit 4 colors, they could have given it like a better payoff, like salvage 1 or search 1 or something.
What I also wish was like the card that gives Aang the 3/2 Aang a +1 mil would have also given this a +1 mil.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be
that
that
cool.
would be pretty sick, actually.
Unfortunate.
Would have been pretty sweet, but yeah. It's a 2. It's I didn't put this in anything, also not in the 4 color deck. But if you wanted like more mill, this is like one of the best ways to do it in the set.
Might be in the mill option in a standby. That deck doesn't have too many mill. Oh, go straight. Wait, we only have one rare card?
Yeah, it's
Wait,
only one
actually,
rare.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, okay.
Like all the rares are in red, and they're like almost all of them are bad. I don't get it, but yeah.
Alright.
Also about the Aang, like it would in theory fit very well in standby, right? Because it's mill and twin drive. But then you realize the standby deck is like
Already
more
has
than
twin drive.
80% red.
Yeah.
Already has twin drive, like a lot of twin drive, and it's more than 80% red. So this card barely twin drives.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah,
even play it.
Yeah, and it's also like a terrible standby target because it does everything on play.
Mm-hmm.
True. Alrighty. Next card. 0/0 Lion Turtle. All of your other World of Avatar characters get 500 power, and then pay one at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase. You may pay the cost. If you do, move this to the back stage, so it's a back row runner.
Yeah. Okay. Plus 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
This profile doesn't actually get see too much play since the only one that actually sees plays like Kaguya for other reasons.
Yeah, if it's like the Kaguya or the Idolmaster girl, those pump 2k on attack, so they actually like when you save them, you get to like pump attack twice. So that's pretty good. Usually also very good with clean cut because you like pump the clean cut, save another thing, pull something back with the back row. This is just a global 500. This card is basically useless. So yeah, like the card surviving doesn't actually do anything for you. So yeah, this is just a 1. Sad.
Yeah. Global 500 is usually negligible for most time.
Alrighty. 0/0 Appa. When this put on your hand, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's level 2 or higher, put it into stock. And when this put on your hand, you may this card gets 3k power. Not you may.
Yeah, a card that can randomly plus you stock like the 1/0, but this is more consistent too, to some extent. My only gripe about this is that its second effect is kind of whatever.
Yeah. They did my boy Appa 30 with this one. There's actually a deck that hits this like very consistently that runs like more than 25 level 2 and higher. But even that deck, like you don't really need the stock for anything. You can't really convert the stock into like pluses very well. Because actually all of the like mid-game field-based stuff is cheap on stock but costs hand. So it's like this card doesn't really have a home for the first effect, even if you can somewhat consistently trigger it. And then the second effect is just not good.
Mhm.
So sad.
Sad indeed.
My little Appa boy gets 1.5. You can play it, but you probably just play it because it's Appa and not because it's a good card.
Smoge.
That will help your deck.
Alright. 1/1 Appa and Momo. When this use card's back up, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it is a World of Avatar character, put it into your hand, choose a card in your hand, put it in the waiting room, and then it's a 2k backup. So it's a Leaf Punch.
Yeah, a Lethal Punch always nice to have in a deck. Just a defensive scry.
Yeah, but actually this is like with the brainstorm, this is like it turns the Leaf Punch into a scry, which starts getting like pretty good. Like you can actually with the top combo, which also gains like power on startup, right? So with the top combo you can like scam first deck cancels. So and if you do it on the top level 3, it actually becomes a triple scry.
Which is actually kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So card is pretty okay. Leaf Punch is always okay, and you have like inherent synergies with the Leaf Punch.
And this is generic and actually gives 2k pump. If you want a double scry, you look at Ari Ferreira has to do a lot of work for double scry. Ari Ferreira coming to English later this year or next year, by the way.
Yeah, it's a 2.
Yeah, good card.
Like actually, like something you actually need to like keep in mind in Avatar is like every counter automatically is like a better card because of the top brainstorm.
And your 2 top brainstorms up, then you become a Leaf. It's really good. Alright, this spicy one. Here we go. This is one that people talked a lot about.
This is actually a cool card. 2/1 Aang. If your climax in the climax area has a choice, this card gains choice in all areas. This card gains choice trigger. If there's a bar, this gains bar. If there's a standby, this gains standby. And if there's a pants, this gains pants. Then it has alarm. If this card is in the top of your clock, if you have 4 more other World Avatar characters, being in your climax phase, you may blind stock one.
Yeah, so this supports eight choice decks, 8 bar decks, 8 standby decks, 8 pants decks, or a mix of them.
Yeah, you can also just mix them.
You can mix and match them. I know some people are thinking about bar and standby, so this can be a bar and a standby, or pants and standby. So it can be pants and standby. Stuff like that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with door trigger.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. But actually, like, we realized that it wouldn't work with the door combo that well anyways, because like the door combo, yes, it lets you stack your deck, but your opponent is just always going to give you this card into your hand.
True.
But it's probably the coolest card in the set that they revealed. It's like also has a hype artwork, so everything just fits very well together. Foil also looks cool. It's doesn't really have a home, I think, outside of like 8 standby. And in 8 standby, it's also like mostly just like extra standby triggers. And like there's a couple of issues with the card. Mainly, you don't really like. Of course, extra stock is always nice, but there's like no very stock hungry deck in the set. And you can't really like, you can't put this in the Aang deck, like Aang level 3, because it messes with your colors too much. You could play it in the top deck, but the top deck, first of all, you eat a lot of space with like the top package, and second of all, like the bar trigger with this is not that good, right? It's just like you add this to your hand, pretty whatever.
I think pants is fine if you're not playing full pants. It lets you
Pants
help
is
you
pretty
leave.
solid.
But
Pants
standby
is
is definitely the
solid.
strongest part.
And standby
Yeah.
is obviously strong. Yeah. So I think like if another set got this, it would be like pretty crazy. In this set, it's just okay, and like definitely hard to make it work, but it's like very strong payoff if you like have like a good setup for this card. I think it will see like the most play and the most success is just gonna be like in standby, just to like give you more standby triggers, and also in pants, like the Katara top end deck, to give you like more pants triggers.
To help you
Like
find CXs better.
combo.
Yeah. See, one of my gripes is that this could have been good if an 8 choice deck was better, but because you're top end, you don't want to play this in 8 choice because now you're heavily indexing into yellow. Like if this was a choice, if this became a choice trigger, it's quite good too. It's only
like,
bars like pretty bad.
Yeah. So if you had like a reasonable card to pair like with Appa combo, you could play like 4 choice, 4 of whatever other climax. But then because like all the level 3 packages are so big and take so much slots, it's like really hard to fit like Aang, the level 3 package, and then like the Appa package. So it's a bit sad, a bit awkward. Because actually you could like make like the Appa package and then like play this to like extend your triggers. And then like play a bunch of like level 2 payoff cards, like the Appa Stalker. The set has 2 coin flips. So yeah, there's like a bunch of stuff you could make work with that, but the context of the set doesn't really enable it too much, sadly.
And our downside of this card is that if you have more than one card of this in your hand, it starts breaking. Because you can only clock once per turn.
Yeah. It's a bit tricky, yeah. But like it's a card you want to clock anyway, so that's like upside.
Wow, what would you give this?
Probably 3.
Yeah.
I think it enables some decks. You can't put this in everything, but yeah, it's very good in some decks. Also, cute synergy is like if you brainstorm with the top brainstorm, and you didn't use an act before, you get to look at the top card and then you see what you're playing stock with this.
Oh, true. That is cute.
That is true. Wicked. Yep, this is a good testing card. It's a unique card to Weiss Schwarz, so play with it. See what you guys think about this when you're building your Avatar decks. Next combo.
Right. Next card. Aang 2/1 experience. If you have a copy of itself in level, this gets -1 level in hand. If all your characters are World of Avatar, this gets 1k, so it's 7k. And when the climax is placed in the climax area, if it's in your center stage and your hand is 6 or less, and you have another World of Avatar character, search your deck for up to 1 Appa Lost, put it at any slot in the stage, shuffle your deck, and that deck gains following ability to end a turn. If this card's battle opponent is reversed, you may put the top card of your deck into stock.
Yeah, it refunds itself for stock. Experience condition, I don't know how easy it is to get it. Is there like a level swapper that's pretty accessible?
There is a level swapper. It actually has like, funnily enough, in some sense no synergy and it's like terrible, and in some sense actually insane synergy.
Okay.
Because it's the Katara that bonds to the Katara event that lets you early play the other Katara, like the minus soul Katara. Which it's like that card doesn't really synergize with Appa at all. But what does synergize with the Appa a lot actually is the Katara event itself, because it lets you pick up the Katara, pump 3k to something, and heal. So you get to like pick up a Katara, heal, pump the Appa 3k, and then he's like swinging at 13k. And the Katara you can like pick up is like a 1/0, that's a Shimakai that gains a level. So you can pick up the Shimakai, give this 3k, then play the Shimakai down, pump it again, so the Appa swings at 15k. And you can keep recycling it and healing for cheap with the events. So it's, in some way it has synergy, but like it's a, like if you don't play the event package, the level swap is just a 500 power do nothing. Except for level swap.
Alright.
And I think it's like actually a very strong combo, but you cannot really pair it with anything efficiently. Like the closest I've got to making this playable is playing this with Azula, because it kind of like lets you, like Azula already wants power pumps, so that part works. You leave like empty lanes for Azula to reverse, so that part works. You get the Ty Lee back row, the anti-backup, so that part works with the Appa, so there's like a lot of inherent synergies between the cards. And you also get to play like, I don't know, 6 choice, 6 standby or whatever, because you have like the extra triggers, and both choice and standby are like pretty good extra triggers with the 2/1. But yeah, a bit hard condition. It's not free. It's like not the hardest condition, but you can miss it, and it's also weird that the Soccer Ricky like really sucks the way that it's like a spawn Ricky and it's only cost 0, because the Soccer Ricky, because it's spawn Ricky, can't grab the level swap because the level swap is on play, and also the Soccer Ricky can't grab any of these pieces. But the Soccer Ricky is the Ricky that clocks from waiting room to set up the experience condition. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Unfortunate. So yeah, good card, but unfortunately the rest of the set doesn't have the best synergy with it.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I don't know how you would rate this. I guess like 2.5. I think this card.
I think it's worth for 3.
I'm not
like,
sure. Yeah,
It's a pretty cool card.
Yeah.
It's a lot of value.
it's worth testing out. Like you playing it out and testing it out. It might not be your first choice to test out. You might want to test out the other decks in the sets, but it is a combo that's worth giving consideration.
It's like basically a +2 combo that probably pluses like 3 or 4 over the course of the game.
Because you don't need to keep playing the choice afterwards.
Yeah,
you keep getting
just,
pluses.
like, yeah, but also you like take 1 extra damage, so that's not the greatest.
You just cancel.
Well, yeah, every time you use the Appa, it's like a bit risky, I guess. But yeah, if you cancel, it's OP.
Yeah, another problem with this. Yeah, it's an 8-card package, which is also why. Because stuff like the top end is already 8-card package itself. Katara is already an 8-card package itself as well.
Yeah, that's like the other thing. All the level 3s are like big packages. So this is also already a big package.
I didn't miss anything.
Luckily, Azula is only like a 6-card package because you just need 2 in the back row.
Yeah.
All right. Next card.
All right. 3/2 Aang. If this is in your waiting room, it's 2 or less climaxes. This gets -1 level in your hand. This card gets 500 power for each of your other World of Avatar characters in the backstage. And then when it's put on stage from hand, check X. X equals the number of your World of Avatar characters. Add 1 to hand.
Those are the only check X in the deck in the set.
Yeah, only check X and only cantripping EP, I guess,
Mhm.
and also like not the only other EP apart from the Katara because we got the Suko PR now, but it was the only other EP. And also like cantripping EPs always have like decent synergy with like the stock healers because they like offset their thing, like their cost. Yeah, it's okay. The check X, it's an EP.
Well, the best deck in Japan has this card. That's a $100 card. Smile.
Yeah,
True.
This won't be a $100 card in English though.
in some like there aren't that many decks that want this because like actually the looping decks already have like 8 bar or 8 pans or like more than 8 pans, so that's a bit awkward, and like the other combos aren't that great to loop.
Mhm.
So I don't think like I barely put this card into my decks. Like some decks run like 1 copy, but because the Climax Swapper is also like so integral to like a lot of the decks, this card feels like a bit less necessary.
And then we'll be getting a PR that's level 0 that can basically check 5 as well.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll do this one.
True.
Just to yeah, next card.
All right, next card 00 Ko. At the beginning of your climax phase, choose one of your World of Avatar characters. That character gets 1k power to the end of turn, and it is a pay 1, brainstorm 4 for every climax you hit. Search 1 and then discard 1. Spam search brainstorm.
Yeah, some decks likes playing these cards. If you're on a stock hit hungry deck, being able to have a on demand pay 1 mil 4 is always good, and stuff like Standby would like to have it to send standby targets to bin.
Yeah, the standby deck also doesn't really use stock, so because you actually don't have any way to plus with stock apart from brainstorming, so you could in theory like use this, but I'm not sure. I'm not sold on these cards. Like they usually require like your deck to be in a very specific niche. Like for example, a deck that wants to go down to specific deck size. Or like deck that barely uses stock at all. Like usually standby decks. But the standby deck already has like twin drives. And
Yeah, like the last 2 times I see this profile gets played was in Kaguya, which is a standby deck, the standby Kaguya deck, and Mushoku, which is also a standby deck.
yeah, Kaguya had like the issue of having no mill whatsoever, and in Mushoku, actually, in Mushoku is a reasonable secondary effect. I think it's a draw drop.
Yeah, it was a draw drop. So yeah, it was here also a free discard.
Yeah. And it also fixes, I guess, your cards like to your hand, which is sometimes not that easy in that deck. Yeah, I think this card actually has like pretty good flavor. It's probably the best, like the most flavor card this character could have gotten, because he like grabs a new face and throws it away, or grabs a face and like throws another one away.
That's pretty good actually.
To be honest, I forgot this character even exists in the Avatar.
Me too.
I forgot what it did.
But yeah, I don't think you're actually gonna play this in anything. But I guess like it's not complete garbage, so I guess like 1.5. But I don't think you will put this in anything.
All right, remember this card got a card in Cabbage Man, did not Smoge Man.
True. You got supplies though. All right, 00 Aang Katara. If you're level 2 or higher, gains the following ability. Put this card into your waiting room. Choose up to 1 Katara and Aang reciprocated feelings in your hand. Put it on the stage this card was in on the position. And then climax combo. You may put the climax on the climax area into the waiting room at the beginning of your encore phase. If you have another World of Avatar character, pay the cost. If you do, choose this card and up to one of your other characters and return them to your hand.
Technically, this is a +2, but in order for it to be a +2, this needs to be in the front row attacking. Yeah.
It is a level 0 combo that pluses 2, but it also makes you take like a shitload of damage. And this set doesn't really like support non climax combo top end. So like this is basically the slot of your level 1 combo, and there's like not really a reason to play this over like one of the actual level 1 combos. Or even I guess like if you want to play level 0 combo, the top is just better.
All right, we'll get this one.
1.
Yeah, this is not worth it.
All right. 0-0 Ember Island players. The yellow one. There's multiple. When spit on stage, this has the name. This is regarded as Aang. And then when spit on stage from hand, you may pay the cost. Put an avatar character from your hand into your waiting room. Search your deck for up to one Ember Island player played by the man, any of the other Ember Island characters, and put it on the stage in the slot. In any slot you field.
Yeah, and each Ember Island player also has the effect that will activate if you have this Aang, this fake Aang on your board. We'll go over him later, but what are your thoughts about this?
The TLDR is you play 4 of this and 4 of the blue one, and that's it.
Yeah,
The
pretty
other
much.
ones
The blue one,
Like
the
the-
Sokka blue one.
The Sokka blue one already.
Which is like it's like similar to the package that Azur Lane is gonna get, where because the Sokka is basically becomes a 35 2 soul, and this one becomes a 3k. But sadly, this one doesn't gain like the extra soul.
This card also has to be in the front, right?
Yeah, they both be in front.
Oh yeah. So it's like a lot worse than Azur Lane one, but it's still like a 2 soul beater at level 0.
Same energy. Yeah.
Same energy. But also this is again like a lot of slots. You don't have a lot of slots in this
Mhm.
set for stuff because everything comes in like big packages. So I don't think you can put this in anything. But it's like interesting, cool, and I think if they made like the other ones a bit better, maybe this would be playable. It's still playable, but I think it's not good enough. Yeah. I guess 2 for this.
Ooh.
Alrighty, next card. 0-0 Momo. When it's put on the teacher hand, you may shuffle pay the cost. If you do, shuffle 2 avatar characters from your waiting room into your deck, shuffle your deck, choose a one avatar character, give a +1 soul. And then it is on play, pay 1, ditch a climax to choose a climax in your waiting room, add it to hand.
So
that climax swapper.
yeah. So we mentioned this before, and apparently this is a common, which is probably the best common
Crazy.
in the set. There's a lot of the shuffle back 2 usually would not be that good, but for this set specifically, there is a lot of like unique synergy with having
Yeah.
card shuffle back. One of the things you can talk about is like the 2/1 Aang we saw earlier. If you get a lowest deck state and you want to trigger a bunch of standby, you can shuffle two of it in, play a standby, and it's crazy that way.
Yeah, and it also like sets up your Aang level 3 by like first of all climax swapping to the choice because the Aang doesn't dig for the climax, and second of all like if you're low deck state, you know which colors are, you just shuffle the other colors back. But yeah, it's actually cute that this card like synergizes really well with like the Aang payoff stuff because it's like Momo supporting Aang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it supports 2/1 Aang, it supports 3/2 Aang, and it will support Sokka that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Alright, what would you rate this?
3, I guess. Yeah, it's like a good utility card. It's not crazy, but it's like if this card didn't exist, like a lot of the decks would not be playable. So I guess this is like actually a core card for the set.
So you bump it to a 4?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, bump it to 4. Pick
It's
this
like
up.
actually like the enabler for multiple decks existing.
Yeah, you'll want this in multiple, at least 2 in basically almost every deck.
Yeah, you should probably buy 3.
Yeah, if you're not gonna play set, but yeah, pick up 3 if you can.
It's a common anyways. Just pick up the place.
I don't know how to say this guy's name. Gyatso, I think it was.
Gyatso.
1-0 Gyatso. Memory. If this is in your memory, at the beginning of your climax phase, choose one of your characters with Aang in his name and that character's 500 power, and then pay 1, put the standing character to memory. If you do, choose one Aang missing companion or Aang avatar state in your waiting room, add them to hand.
Yo, why doesn't this grab the finisher, the choice finisher?
Because
grabs
they
its
know,
gr-
because
gra-
they're not going to play with all the yellow. They know.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, but also like it doesn't really have that much synergy with the 2/1 because it also costs the stock to like grab the 2/1. So sometimes you will, if you use this to grab the 2/1, you won't be able to play the 2/1. And also, it only pumps 500 power. Why does it only pump 500 power?
Yeah, it's not even global 500 to all Aangs. It just gives a single Aang 500 power.
Yeah, if there's
Yeah.
one
And it's not even
project-
cross turn. It's just on turn too. If like if give Avatar State Aang like cross turn
Yeah.
power, or like hexproof or something.
Yeah, or like if this card actually supported the level 3 better, I could see the level 3 being playable. Like if this is like global 500 and you put like a couple of these in memory and make it super big, or if this is like hexproof or something, or anti backup, or like anything like that, that would be like actually make the card interesting and cool. But this is just terrible. Move on.
One. At least with this, with the 2-1 Aang, you can spawn it off the Soka Rookie, as you said before. You couldn't grab his 2-1 before. It ends
Oh,
up being
yeah,
like
sure.
a 3 cost of 7
That
1
works
2 1.
actually, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, but then you paid one for the soccer Ricky, and then you pay one for
For this, and then you pay 1 to play down the
you pay
2
one for
1.
the 2-1.
Don't worry about it. Alright, next card.
Alright, 1-0 Appa. At the beginning of your attack phase, choose one of your World Avatar characters, and that character gains 1,000 power until the end of turn. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may put the top card of your... Put one card from your hands in the waiting room, not top card. If you do, choose one of your other characters, put it face up underneath this as a marker. And then your next draw phase, choose one character with the marker underneath this, put it underneath it on the stage. It's a cat bus.
Yep, it's a way to...
Mater.
Yeah, Mater. You can bring back cards. You can bring,
Yeah,
you can bring back like the 2-1 Aang.
It's like the tier V motorcycler basically, but like because the cat bus actually is like pay 2 drop 2 red, so it's
True.
not that good. It's like super risky card and like also eat a bunch of damage. This just like saves one of your cards, which is honestly kind of crazy because like you can, for example, if you have like an EP or something that you want to protect, you could like hide, like if they try to Adachi it, you can just like hide it and then kill the Adachi next turn.
Mhm.
Or the 2-1 Aang, for example, that like summons the upper. You can just like tag it under, hide it under this, and then next turn bring it out again and choice again and summon like another upper. The upper like also keeps coming back. So there's like a lot of cute things, and I'm like somewhat hyping this card up even though I don't play it in anything. I think it's a cool card. It's cool flavor. Also a strong effect. I just yeah. Probably not strong enough, or like no deck really wants this enough to like commit the back row slots in it, because I think that's like the big issue. This needs a back row slot, and it only pumps like 1k, which is like a bit too little. If it was like rest to pump 2k or something, I think it would be pretty good.
Alright, we'll just get
Could
this.
have been.
2. I think this card actually has potential. I just maybe haven't realized it yet. Like
Yeah.
how to like use this proper or like maximize it.
Has potential. Alright, excellent.
1-1 Momo. When this becomes reversed, the card's battle opponent is higher level than your opponent. You may send that character to stock. It is a stock Adachi.
Stock Adachi. I think this is the only Adachi. Only this and like the anti-cheat counter is like the only way to out your opponent's
Yeah, it's
early
only
plays. So yeah, if you need it, you need it.
Good. I like stock Adachi. But it's like feels a bit bad that it has no second effect, especially because it's the only Adachi. So if you want Adachi, you have to play this. Most decks don't need this effect, I think, but like it also obviously very much depends on like the meta. Yeah. Pick up a couple just to have them. So I guess 2.
Yeah, just 2. Excellent.
Next card. 2-1 Appa. When it's attacked, if you have another World of Avatar character, this gets 3k power until the end of turn. When this card's battle opponent is reversed, you may put this into your memory. If you do, at the beginning of the next draw phase, choose one Appa lost in your memory. Put it on the stage, so it is a 2-1 time machine.
Yeah, swings in 10k, which is pretty big, but unfortunately with the mana being Alice, you'll need multiple power pumps in order for us to cleanly go over Alice through a counter.
Alice is actually so cringe for this card because like with CX and Shimakai, this is 13k and this still doesn't beat Alice. So you,
Yeah.
like, CX, Shimakai and another pump. And at that point it's like, okay, why am I even trying this? But against most other decks, this like will consistently find a reverse basically until the end of the game. So this is like an infinite plussing machine, and you don't even need to play the climax combo. You can also just use this to like bridge your mid game, like play like a resource conserving mid game. So it's a good card. a bit hard to use, but I think this is like just a strong card. I think like if more sets had something like this, they would like be more inclined to play it maybe than this set. But yeah, it's a cool card. 2, I guess. 2.5. I don't know.
I think this gets a
Long.
boost on the merit that you can summon this at 1 with the combo.
Yeah, that makes it better, and also there's like a lot of power pumps in the set which actually support this. Just there's like not really a deck that would want like a cheap mid game bridge, because like your decks are either like full mid game focused and try to win board, so this one doesn't really fit if you're playing like Toppo Katara level 3. If you're playing Aang level 3, like this is yellow, which is like the color you need to beast, and Aang level 3 itself is actually not that expensive. And if you play like the red standby combos, this actually works well with Azula, since you already want power pumps and want the empty lane, but doesn't really do anything for Zuko. But yeah, it's a cool card.
All right, sounds
It
good.
has potential.
Your camera kind of died.
Mine or Jason?
Yeah.
Yours. You're like frozen to us. My man's mid lifting his hand up.
Does it work again, or should I maybe like leave the call and join again?
You can try that.
But it's good for me though.
Oh, it's good for you now? No, it's not. It's not good for me.
Mhm.
Am I unfrozen?
You're unfrozen for me. But
You're a loading screen for me.
damn, GG
Did I
Kevin,
disconnect?
better internet.
Yeah.
You can try. Just try blinking out real quick.
Yeah, jump for your call and come back in real quick. Oh, there's 2 Jasons now. Well, 1 Jason
Whoa.
and his chair and 2 of his chairs. Oh, there we go.
All right, is it working?
Welcome back. Yep. Welcome back.
Julio.
All right, next card. After that technical issue.
1-0. Yip yip. Search your deck for 1 World of Avatar character. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it in your hand. Choose one card in your hand. Put it in the waiting room. Shuffle your deck. Choose 1 World of Avatar character in battle. Move it to an open summon stage. This is the original maneuver gear from AOT 1.
Yeah, this never got reprinted before. This got printed as a joke card for an April Fool's before. But this is the first time it's actually been reprinted. Unfortunately, there might not be too many decks that can take advantage of this. And there's no way to search it either.
Yeah, it's a cool card. Flavor again. You use it to run away. But yeah, bit hard to use. I think the only use case I found for this is in the Sokka level 1 combo decks, because Sokka level 1 is already small. You can like use this to to save the Sokka and then just use him again, because it's already like pants, it's easier to loop, and Sokka itself can grab events. So yeah, this is
Thank
like
you.
a cute
Thank you, Mr.
sustain
Food.
engine in Sokka. But actually, like the other problem with that is like there's not really a deck that wants to loop Sokka, because like if you play like 8 pants, you want to transition to like the Katara board.
Mhm.
So this mostly would work in like, I don't know, pants standby or something, where you want to like keep chaining Sokka until you do like your nut finisher, I guess.
But even in that deck, it's hard. It's hard to keep. If you ever, the only problem with this card is that if you run to Sao, which Sao is the problem set of of this game, you are not having 2 Sokka live.
Yeah.
Or any Sokkas live.
Sokka also needs to survive on the swing, obviously, and he's not small, but he's also not big.
Yeah, if you're not using this as a counter to save a character, this is it's just a -1 event.
Yeah, then it's really bad. Like you could use it as like a ditch, like a -1 search event in AOT, because your combo actually plus 2 to you. But like in this set, no, you're gonna cry if you have to do that. So yeah, like 1.5, I guess. It's like there's probably a way to make this work, but you probably shouldn't try.
Alright, sounds good. Oh, wait, there. Oh yeah, this card.
Alrighty. Let's see. My fucking Discord's not loading. Please Thank you. If you don't have a character with Aang in its card name, this cannot be played from your hand. Look at the top 4 cards of your deck. Choose the one World of Avatar character among them. Reveal it to your opponent. Put it into your hand. Put the rest in the waiting room. Put this into memory. While it's in memory, your climaxing will play without fulfilling color requirement, and all of your World of Avatar characters gain this card can be played without color requirement. It's a 1/1.
Say
I don't like this card.
one of my biggest gripe about the quad color deck is that majority of the quad color cards are just thrown into yellow. So you can't actually play all these cards that supports quad colors as much as you would like, just because of the fact that now you're over indexing into yellow.
This card is also just not really necessary, right? Because you usually don't play higher level cards in all 3 colors anyways. Or like the other colors don't have that much stuff worth playing, and the salami also like fixes your color for you anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So this card is just bad. It will make your deck worse if you put it in. And also, why does this not make your events also free? Like they might as well have gone all the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Just make it all cards in your hand can be played without.
It's a cute card. People will go, oh, I can play all colors now, cool. But if you're playing, like, if you're a good player, you shouldn't need this, and it will just make your deck worse. So yeah, one side.
I can't believe Dragon Salami stuck as well as it did. Okay, there's only like 2 salamis that
salami.
exist.
I love salami.
I think Niji did Niji get a salami? I don't think so, right?
Okay, actually, we keep mentioning salami, so we should
I
probably
got a card
explain.
like it, but
Okay, salami is a card that we'll see way later in the set. It's actually an Aang card, but called salami because of profile. But what it actually does is it allows you to check 3,
Yeah.
and
her
if
name
you
is Sasami, but
if you see the
Salami
3 different
for-
colors, you can add one to the hand. So it's like a +1.
Basically, you reveal 3. If it's 3 different colors, you can add anything to hand of those 3,
Yeah,
which can
has a
also add like
plus.
events and climaxes.
Mm-hmm. It was a good card
Sick.
for meme deck and low buster, but
It's a
and
good
it
card
is
for an actual
reprinted.
deck here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of the best payoffs for a quad color. Alright, what would you rate this card?
This one won't.
This one's a 1. Smooch. Oh, the low buster. Yeah, it was printed in the key anniversary set. Alright, that's it for yellow. Are you guys good? Can we jump straight into green, or would you like a break?
you can keep going. I'm good. Are you good, Chris?
Yeah, green is okay. Maybe take a small break after green.
All right, let's speed this up a little bit. It's already been
Try to
almost an hour and a
speed
half.
up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Alrighty.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. 0/0 Toff. This is being active once per turn when you use an act. Look at the top card of your deck, put on the top or into the bottom of your deck, and then it is a pay 1 rest salvage brainstorm.
Do note
This card's good.
that you do need to resolve the entire effect of the act that you activate first before you get to scry. So you cannot use your brainstorm, scry first, and then finish the rest of your brainstorm. You need to resolve the entire brainstorm first before you get the scry.
So it's not inherently synergistic with that, but it's like good enough because even if you just get the scry afterwards, it's still like a scry for your attack phase. So sometimes you actually want that. And this also scries like not to waiting rooms but to bottom, so this can also like sort of set up like Aang level 3. And yeah, the crazy part about this is like how it makes every counter into a Leafa punch. It's like pretty sick. Especially if you have multiples, this basically saves you like a free cancel every turn.
As so long as you can counter every turn.
Yeah,
which specifically a top deck will want to do.
I think it's just a good, like, very good card. But it's like it's very boring, but it's like very strong card.
The art's boring too. Like why is it
The
double
art is
rare art?
boring.
Also, the
Okay.
art, it's like why is the art of this card? I don't get it. Yeah. whatever.
This might be boring, but that's still just a really strong effect for a brainstorm, though.
I think it's one of the best cards in the set. Also because it's so generic, I guess. It's
Mhm.
exposed to anything.
Yeah, every deck can use it.
The only salvage brainstorm, right?
It's the only salvage brainstorm, anyways. Yeah. Okay. But it feels really bad to give this like a 5-star because it's so boring. But
Yeah,
it's
that's like
ranking
a
of
4-star.
Yeah, 4-star card.
Yeah, it's good enough to be
You're
played and
not
everything.
playing this set for this card. Yeah.
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 It is a really strong brainstorm though.
Very cool. All right, 1-0 Toph. This ability active once per turn. When using Act, this gets 1500 power. When
6K.
this card, yeah, so it's a 6K. When this card attacks, if the climax in the climax area and you have 2 or more other World of Avatar characters, you pay the cost. If you do, perform the following action 2 times. Put the top card of your deck in the waiting room. Choose a level extra lower World of Avatar character in your waiting room. Return it to hand. X is the level of that card. So it splits the tobacco effect, which is normal, or the cigarettes, which are normally 2 cards, into 2 1s.
This has been printed once
Card
before
base.
in all of Weiss. It's never been printed in English before, but this is printed back in Sully. I'm pretty sure Christian was a big fan of that profile back then too. My only gripe about this is that because you're milling 2 of 1 each, you don't always get the chance to grab your level 3s, which in this deck kind of wants.
No, but like, isn't it better at grabbing level 3s in theory? Well, not really, but like.
It's worse than Reiner.
Yeah, it's a bit worse than Reiner. But actually, no, this is
Yeah.
better than Reiner because Reiner is full board condition.
Yeah, Reiner's full board
Two
condition.
condition.
But if you ignore the condition, then yeah, it is technically worse than Reiner.
I think this card is like I think this combo is better than cigarettes, especially because this is also like a bar deck, right? So like ditching the extra climax is cool. But yeah, this just like fetches the like. Oftentimes these combos need like good level 0s to be very good, and that might be where this card like actually falls flat a bit. Is that your 0s are not that good at the utility department. But like it's a good combo in itself, and because I think like the 8 bar deck is not gonna run that heavy on 0s, you will probably be able to like grab a counter or something while still like fixing your hand. And obviously it has like inherent synergy with, because you want to run a lot of counters. This can like grab the counters, then you can either use the counter to like protect this, or if this dies anyways, you keep the counter to like change into the 3/2 to fight back for the board that way. It's like a lot of inherent synergy with itself, and I think these combos are like a bit underrated. But I also like always felt cigarettes are better than like what people thought of them, because like forced mill 2 and forced mill 2 can be so bad. But also this set doesn't have a lot of mills, so this card also like mills a bit. I think it's just a good card. Probably the best like level 1 combo.
Alright. 4 then?
Yeah, 4. Also the SP looks sick. Which is like very annoying to me that like they gave 2 cards that have an SP, an alternate art promo with sick art, like Katara and the top. Like,
Oh
couldn't they have
yeah.
just even like the alternate art?
Oh
like,
yeah.
The Judge PR card is this is
For
so
example,
beautiful.
like, imagine the brainstorm in the other art. Fuck. Why?
Oh, the Iroh Judge PR, that thing is sick.
That thing looks so good.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, 4-star.
Next card, 0-0 Toph. This is active 2 times per turn. One other World of Avatar character is placed on your seat from your hand. This gets 1000 power. Climax combo. When the card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if the climax is in the climax here, you have another World of Avatar character. Search your deck for up to 1 World of Avatar character. Reveal it. Your opponent, add it to hand. Shuffle your deck.
So it can be a 5k
0-0
attacker.
Shimakaze.
Yeah, it can be a 5k attacker with the CX and double 1k pump. The only downside is it does require reverse, which is probably one of the worst conditions for a level 0 combo.
Yeah. This is probably the worst condition, yeah. But it's also, it gets quite big. You have like good power pumps, like the JC, for example, has like really good synergy with this, because JC makes you reverse, and then it also like saves this to like have another go. But it's also the only plussing combo that actually has good selection in the set. Surprisingly enough.
Oh.
So in theory, if there was like a deck that needed like specific selection, this is like okay. But for example, like the top combo, for example, needs a bunch of different cards to the level 3. But like the counters don't synergize with this at all. Like then you play 4 level 1 counters and like, I don't know, like the Zookeeper Angs to like protect with the counters and to gain like extra value of the axe. But the Zookeeper Angs actually you're gonna hit less because now you're playing a level 0 combo. So it's all just kind of doesn't work together. But I think it's not that bad because the JC exists, but I'm just not sure where you would play this.
All right, what would you rate this?
2.
2. Probably would never play this
Sounds
over the
good.
other one we saw just now, or rarely ever.
1-0 Suki. When this is placed on stage from hand, you may put the top card of your hand
Or
into the
set from
waiting room. When this card is, or from played from waiting room. You can put okay, sure. If you do choose
When
one
you
avatar
play it
character
or
in
when
your
it
clock,
dies.
when it dies, yeah. You could choose a card in your clock, add it to hand, then put the top card of your deck into your clock. So it's a clock swap, and it is a level 0, a cost 0 clock bomb.
Yeah, Cosmic Clock Bomb is not that prevalent right now because there's this Quince with 1/1s and there's
Not
Alice.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll only
level
use this for
1
double discard.
Meh.
There's also
in
no
general.
level 0 effect. Kind of cringe.
Yeah, I think if this was like a level 0, it would be pretty good. But yeah, as a level 1, it's like very hard to use, I think. Also, like the 8 bar deck already has like a lot of inbuilt discard outs, so this just like doesn't even go in that either. So there's no home, hard to use, probably too weak in general because it's a level 1 clock bomb. Yeah, sadly one.
Sadly, 1.
2-1 Toph and Aang. When you use this card's backup, you may pay the cost. Pay 1, drop 1, sack 1. If you do, what was it? The anti counter, right? Yeah. Choose one of your opponent's characters higher level than your opponent. Put it into their clock, and then they heal a card in their clock. Is heal first? Heal first. And
Yeah.
then 2500 counters. So it is the Amelia anti-change counter, which is
So yeah,
the cheapest. It isn't Gochi.
one of the best costs for anti-change counter, but one of the worst type of anti-change counter because your opponent can be in a state where you can't use this. Oh, if you're talking, Yavi, we can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot turning the mic on. Yeah, maybe it's like even worse than like just sent to waiting room. I don't know. It's like really awkward because like a lot of early plays heal, and then they're at 2-0, and then you can't use this. But there's also like enough early plays that don't heal, and it's just like a card you probably put into most decks, and it's like good to have. But actually, the cost is not even that great in this set specifically, because like the decks that really would want this are like the Katara combo deck and the Toph deck, that really want to protect their level 2s. But those decks have like a 2-1 back row that they don't want to sack, and like the Brainstorm probably, and you don't really like in the Toph deck you can just like salvage your Brainstorm back and then sack it, I guess. But like in the Katara deck, it's like kind of sucks to lose the Brainstorm. So yeah.
I feel like in those decks you're not gonna try field anyway. You're EP or unless you're sacking,
maybe,
so it's like it would be like a third lane.
Third lane. Yeah, you can maybe sack third lane.
Unless
That would
it's
always
multiple
be
turns in, then you can get a third one out.
It's still like a good anti-change counter, but yeah. maybe not good anti-change counter. Maybe it's just a mediocre one. Yeah. 2, I guess.
I would still slap this in most decks just because it's an anti-change counter.
Also the only anti-change counter. So.
Unfortunately, that's what we're saying about a lot of these cards. It's the only one of the set.
Yeah.
Which feels weird because it's a 100 card set. Alright, next card.
Alright, let's see. 2-1 Toph. Assist if you're level 3 or higher. All your level 3 or higher characters in the front of this get 2k power. And when your character trigger check reveals a climax, you can pay the cost. Put a card from your hand to the waiting room. If you do, reveal the top card of your deck. Choose to 1 level X or lower character in your waiting room. Turn it to hand. X is the level of the revealed card. And then it has act. Rest this. Choose one character and that character. Choose one of your other characters and that character gets 500 power to end a turn.
I think this is a really good card. Yeah, this is a really good card. It enables your act. It helps defend your Tophs, as well as if you're playing 8 bar or 8 pants, it just allows you to filter out those excess triggers.
It's very nice that they made this work with both pants and bar. because this is like the much better back row. Like the pan support back row sucks in comparison to this.
Mhm.
Basically does everything you want for both of those decks. It's like a very good card. 3, I guess.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. This card's sick. Alrighty. 3/2 Tough. When this card attacks, if the climax in your climax area and you have another World of Avatar character, choose one of the following effects and perform it. Choose one character in your waiting room, return it to your hand. Choose one World of Avatar character in your waiting room, put it into stock. Or pay 2, you can pay the cost, deal 2 damage to your opponent. And then when this is frontal attacks, look at the top card of your deck and put it on the top or in your waiting room.
Yeah, so
Very nice.
so there is a way to early play this. It's going to be the same way as you can do it with Kanata. If you know that deck, it's a pretty popular deck. So I'm surprised you wouldn't. Unlike Kanata, you have to stock one and salvage one. Kanata can choose to modulate. You can add 2 or stock 2 or stock 1, add 1. But the difference is this card can have the second effect where it does become a finisher.
Yeah, so this like saves you the top end climax, and it also, I think, has the better effect, like on play effect. I think the damage scribe is inherently more synergistic with the like
The
trying to
Brainstorm.
protect your board. Well, brainstorm, but also just like this is a card that wants to live, wants to chain combo, and this effect generates value like the more this card lives. In a different perspective, like this is worse if your opponent manages to like break your board, but it's like a lot better if this like actually sticks. Yeah, and it also conserves your slots because it's also your finisher, and the level 1 like this changing from a level 1 counter is a lot better than changing from a level 2 counter. Yeah, I think there's like a lot of good parts about this card. The only problem this card has is it's not hexproof, so sometimes it might be like too easy to remove, and then it's like a lot harder for this to rebuild than for Kanata, because Kanata is just gonna like, yeah, salvage 6. Okay, now I have my hand again, and can just do it again next turn. Whereas this one cannot really do that. So it's a bit more like this one is a lot more attackable, but this one is stronger if it's like not attacked, I guess. 4 stars. I think this is like the easiest deck to build, and if you just want to like build an Avatar deck and do well with it, just build 8 bar. It's like very easy to build, very strong.
And at least for a lot of fans, Top is their favorite character. So
Yeah.
Top has a pretty good deck to build around.
Alright, 0/0 Aang. If you have another World of Avatar character, this gets 3k power. So you do have to have another. Okay. And then when this card's battle opponent becomes your first, you put the top card of your opponent's clock in the waiting room. If you do, put that character into your opponent's clock.
So this kind of profile does see more play nowadays, more in Japanese than English. English doesn't really have too much of a need to play this, but it's a good way to remove your opponent's cards
A
while
lot of
keeping
English
board.
decks have Aqua, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the best card against Aqua. Well, not against Aqua specifically, but against those types of effects, like 7 Deadly Sins, Quints, Hololive itself, right? There's like a lot of these types of effects, and some sets like need their utility from their on-death effects, like have it be Chiori's or on-death Ricky's or something. So this is just a good card. Only problem is like green is not the best color to like splash into other things, and like I said, a lot of cards have like big packages, and then sometimes maybe you don't have space for this. But it's probably the best oversize if you can like afford to play it and afford to maybe play a bit of support around it, because 35 is not like.
Well, as you said before, you have the JC. You can pump it.
Yeah, you have a JC to pump it, and also like the bar support. There's like a level 0 bar support that makes this 4k cross turn, which is like perfect. So yeah,
Alright.
it's a surprisingly good card, I think. 3 star.
3 stars.
right.
Speaking of bar
This
support,
card. I like this card. 0/0 Toff. When your trigger check reveals a bar, trigger icon, you may pay the cost of put a card from your hand to the waiting room. If you do, choose a card in your clock, return it to hand, put the top card of your clock into your clock, or sorry, deck in the clock. And then rest, choose 2 of your characters this turn that get found power to the end of your opponent's next turn. That's a good bar support.
yeah. So if you're playing 8 bar, good way to get rid of a bunch of bars in your hand, and then dig for other cards. And then it is your act enabler, your free act enabler, so you don't have to spam brainstorm in order to give power to level 1 combo.
Yeah, in theory, a way to like grab events also, which the 8-bar deck doesn't really have otherwise. But I think the event is actually not worth playing, surprisingly. But yeah, it's like it makes your level 0 better, and it's like a bar support before you hit level 2. And it also is like the act enabler for your act stuff.
Until you get the
So
2-1 out.
Yeah, it does enough stuff that's like good in the act deck, like an 8-bar deck.
Alright, we'll get this.
2, because it only goes in the 8-bar deck, I guess.
Mm-hmm. No, we're playing this in the 8 deck.
Let's see, 0/0 Suki. When this card becomes reversed in battle, you put the top card of your deck. If that card is level 2 or higher, you may return this card to your hand. And then it is on play Bond to Sokka Warrior the Southern Tribe. That's the level 1 combo in blue, I believe. Yeah, it's over there. And
I do like this card personally, as a way to bond to your level 1 combo. So you can, and it is a pants combo. So in specifically 8 pants, it's not as powerful because you're not looping level 1 as much. But I mean, if you are trying to play the loop,
Yeah, which is a bit sad, right? Because
yeah,
like, the 8 pants deck would play like a lot of level 2s because it has the event to like early play.
yeah,
So it like makes the quant a bit. But I think the really awkward part about this card is you lamented like lack of mill in the set, right? It's actually a big problem for this card because it doesn't search it, it grabs it from the waiting room. And like the card, for example, that would mill you at level 0 is the Zuko Salvage Tricky, which already salvages the Sokka. So yeah, it's a bit hard to use this, I think, because it grabs from waiting room instead of deck. I think if it grabbed from deck, it would be a lot better. It's like still a decent card, and I think if you play Sokka combo, you just play this.
anyways,
deck.
yeah.
But yeah, it could be a lot better if it searched. It's like unfortunate circumstance of the set not having a lot of mill. And the Sokka combo mills you then afterwards, but then you don't need it anymore. It's like a bit sad.
Yeah, it's not one of those on-play dish search that a lot of sets are getting nowadays. Well, even this to had it too with the island players, Emperor Island players. Alright, what'd you get this one?
2.
Zero Daily Agents. If your stock is 2 or less, this gets 1 level and 1k power. So it's a level 125. When this card is put on stage from hand or put into the waiting room from stage, look at the top card of your deck, put it in the top or put it in the waiting room.
It's not even that big of an oversize. It's not even oversized at all. And the Double Scry is okay, but doesn't do enough.
If it was 3k, I would think about it. But a 2-5, not like considering it. Like the playing with the Chibi Miko made me appreciate like the on play on Death Scry, because it's like a sort of free Leafa Punch if you crash it, and it's like good utility on play. And if you overplay it, you get like extra utility still. But yeah, the other part of this card is just not good enough. So yeah, 1.
Just the 1 smooch. I don't even remember who this guy was. I remember who these 2 are.
1/0 Shinfu and Master Yu. When this card is placed, when a comic is placed in the climax area, this card gets 200 power until end of turn. And then, if you have another Toph Prankster, you can send this to waiting room. Choose 1 Toph metal bending in your waiting room. Return it to hand. Okay, so this is like your helmet bonder.
Yeah, so it sacks itself to grab your 3/2 if you have the 1/1 on board. So this acts as your. I think it's okay. It acts as your 4th and 5th copy, if your 5th and 6th copy if you're 3/2.
This card seems kind of bad.
No, but like, you know, the first line. Why does this card gain power? Why don't you give power to something? Like
True.
1/5 something would make a lot more sense. So yeah, it's like a weak attacker it's like, yes, it bonds to level 3, but it doesn't even also bond to the level 1. It literally only grabs the 3. Which, yes, the 3 is the harder part of the card to grab
Mhm.
because of the level 1 combo being the way it is, but yeah, it's like you play maximum one of this just because it's like
A card you can
something
salvage.
you can grab of your Toph and then like grab the level 3 instead, but this card is so bad. Like if you play this, you're like sad about it.
Mhm.
So I guess 1.5, it's like possibly a necessary evil, but you're not happy about it.
Mhm. It's definitely nothing compared to Helmet Bonder. Helmet counter that grabs both pieces.
Alright. 1-0 Toph. This is it's a once per turn. When using act, this card gets X power. X until the end of turn. X equals the number of your World of Avatar characters times 5. When this card attacks, if the character raising this is level 2, this gets 6k power until the end of turn.
Well,
So
this
it's a level
card
2 beater.
can out Alice because if a full board it hits 6/5 plus 6k, so it's 12/5. CX is 13/5, and the act usually gives a 500, so it usually hits 14k against Alice. So
Yeah, or if you play the trial deck, this scales like over because it pumps 1/5. So yeah, this card gets like pretty big. I'm not sure if it's really worth like fighting Alice in that way because I think like once you hit the Kanatas out, that's usually like better. So I'm not sure if you really need to commit slots to this. But yeah, it's a good utility card. Like whenever there's like a lot of level 2s, you can play this, and this gets like pretty big. Or like it gets bigger than normal. It has like the slight condition for the effect, and that's why it's 12/5 instead of 12k.
all right, what would you give this? 2. Yeah,
Ooh,
fine
for fucking
card.
level 2.
Specifically in this meta, it's a bit better, but you don't necessarily need it.
You don't need it. Yeah, sometimes playing against that, trying to beat Alice is just a fruitless endeavor. Alright, 1-1 Toph. When the climax is placed in the climax area, if you are level 2 or higher, you may put this card into your waiting room. If you do, choose up to 1 Toph metal bending in your hand, put it on stage in this card's slot, and it's a 2500 counter.
So the -1
I
to
love
early
counters.
play your 3/2, but it makes your 3/2 play for 1 stock only, technically. And it is a pretty big counter, 2/5. That you can grab back with your top.
25 counter makes your level 1 combo 8/5, which is actually like pretty big. It means like 7Ks with 1K1 don't get over your stuff. And it's like a lot of synergy because like the counter first of all procs your brainstorm. Second of all, like you will use the counter when you think you don't hit level 2 to like protect the combo, do the combo again, and if you think you hit level 2, you just keep the counter and then change the next turn. So it's like a counter that has value both when you want it and when you don't want it.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah. I guess 4.
Yeah. Same package deal as the 3/2. If 3/2 is a 4, this is a 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
The enabler.
Alrighty. 2-1 or 2-2 Long Fang. This card gets 2k for each marker underneath this. When this card is placed on stage from hand, you may choose up to 3 Judy. Welcome to the bossing. Say in your waiting room, put them face down underneath this as a marker. Kevin likes the other card. But
It's a meme. Yeah, this is just a meme,
this card,
pretty much. You have to hard play to get 11k wall, which is smaller than some standby decks.
Crazy.
Why is this only 11k? This makes no sense. This
Yeah.
could be
3
14k,
dudes.
and then you can maybe think about playing it, but then it's probably still terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, just 1.
Just the 1.
It would have been neat if it could marker, if it could at least stock something as well, but nope.
Alright. 0-0 Boomy. Once a card becomes reversed in battle, you may choose one of your opponent's choose one card in your opponent's clock, put it in the waiting room. If you do, your opponent puts the top card of their deck in the clock. When this card becomes reversed, if your opponent's battle opponent is level 0, you may put their top card of their clock in the waiting room. If you do, put that character into the clock. It is a clock bomb, and it is a snipe Kazuma.
The first effect is so
Ben's
nichely
favorite
used. Yeah, okay, back in fucking 2018.
Yo, I love Kazuma. Woo!
But this effect, the first effect is so nichely used, it's like basically irrelevant, and the second effect is just the
effect was
500
bad
hard
in
removal.
2016, and it's still bad. Just don't play this.
Yeah, It is best this is a bomb, but you have the 3/5 claw kick for hard removal.
It's like so unlikely that we're ever again in a meta where this effect is like good enough to play.
At least over the 3/5. All right, 1.
Yeah, 1.
Yep. Next card.
Ember Island players Toph. This card is counted as Toph. All of your other Ember Island players get 1k power and pay 2 restless search your deck for your World of Avatar character.
Okay, it's not all other cast Ember Island. It's only those 2.
One.
Oh, it's only the red and
Doesn't
yellow
matter,
one.
this card is
Jeez.
bad.
Wait, why is this so
Move on.
bad? This card's even worse. Oh
Yeah,
my
this card
God.
is
I
terrible.
won.
It doesn't even power the blue one.
Damn, I made an assumption. Sorry, thinking this card is even a little bit better. All right, 0/0 Judy.
1. Even
Lewis.
if it's
Okay.
1.
You can play as many as you want. When this card is played, you can pay 1 search your deck for a Judy, spawn it. 1 sick.
Yo,
cool
it's a
flavor,
pay 1 plus
but
1, dude. Come on, man.
Shut up,
cool
Kevin.
flavor, but
No,
yeah, it's not good.
there is no war in Bossing Say. Alright, 1/0 Aang. This card is the once per turn when using Act. This gets 1500 power in the following ability. When this card attacks, draw the top card of your deck. If that card is a level 1 or higher, put it into your stock.
Also from Hololive, we have the Mel level 1. It's a pretty good stock charge, especially with the way you can get.
No,
Build Act.
Good card.
Yeah.
Don't think you can put this in a lot of things, but it's a good card. Good effect to have.
Yeah, if you're playing green level 1, it's a decent Ox.
Yeah.
Auxiliary level 1. Alright, what'd you give us? 2.
Alrighty, next card. 2/1 Jet. I forgot this character existed.
I forgot this character existed too.
During this card's battle, all players cannot use backup from their hand. When this card is placed on stage of hand, this gets X power. X equals to the number of your World of Avatar characters times 1k.
So full board,
12/5.
it's 12/5 with anti-backup. What do you think about this?
It's actually niche playable because like anti-backup is like pretty strong text, and like if you need to like kill something, this gets something killed.
This will kill Alice, this will kill Kanata.
Yeah. The main sad part about this is like you cannot give this like removal effect. Like there's no like give this stock kick, give this claw kick. So like actually use this to like hard remove something. So if you kill something, they can just like 3-stock it and not care. Also, this is like one of the only ways you actually have to like break stalemates. For example, if you're like playing the top combo or the Katara combo, and you're in a side attack war, this is like the only card in the set that next to the Zuko. I guess like because we got the Zuko, this card has no reason to exist anymore. 1. I forgot the Zuko already exists to like break stalemates.
True.
Which
Like
sequel?
if there was a way to give this removal, I think you could like make a case for this being a 2 because it's like a way to like kill a lane.
Wait, what sequel? I forgot. Or we'll go over it when we kind of comes.
Well, we'll see it eventually, right?
Yeah, we'll see
The
eventually.
Zuko PR. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, here we go.
3/2 Toph. When this
The
put on
Melon
stage of
Lord.
hand, you may pay 1. Yeah, the Melon Lord. If you do, choose your opponent puts all their stock in the waiting room, puts the number of cards from the top of their deck into their stocks. With the stock swap, when this direct attacks, you may choose a World of Avatar character waiting room, put it into your stock. That's actually a pretty cool secondary effect. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean the secondary effect will like
it's
initially
probably
happen.
like pretty useless. It's like
I mean,
Yeah.
it might come up in like the 8-bar deck because you know you are
when you're playing that deck.
okay,
Yeah.
but like what do you use the extra stock for that you get from this after like?
for an extra counter.
Oh, actually, this could like give you the extra stock you need to like burn.
True with your
True.
finisher. So it lets
I
you
guess
stock
it's
swap
better than
and
not having a second.
burn. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a stock swap. It's like a good card. You put this in like every deck that plays green. Sometimes this is even the reason that your deck will play green.
Yeah, sometimes when I was deck building this, a lot of time I should slap in 3 brainstorm and try to fit this in as your 4th green.
3, I guess. Yeah.
3, yeah.
Cool.
I just have a good brainstorm just flashing for green. Chris.
All right, there is no war in Bossing Say.
If you have 2 or less green characters, cannot be played from your hand. You may choose one climax in your hand, put it in the waiting room, and if you do, choose one of your opponent's characters, return it to hand.
Wait, you had to discard Climax? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh, this card
Yeah,
is
it's
so
like
much
the,
worse
it's like
now.
the Puyo money.
You need
Oh,
3 green, so you can't
Okay,
yeah, you need
if
3.
have 2 or less green, this cannot be played.
So
Yeah.
you need 3 green characters and you need to discard a CX. Oh, and to
I
pay
wasn't
for.
even putting this card in my deck when it was just 2 green. Now it's 3 green. But this card sucks.
Yeah, wait, this card sucks.
Dude, just tri-field your top combo. What's the problem?
It's a good flavor card though. But
If
like,
the Toff could salvage this, sure. But the Toff
Yeah,
can't
true, you have, like,
salvage
nowhere
this,
to
so you
add
have
this.
to play like 2 or 3. I'm not playing 2 or 3 of this card. 1.5 because it's not like unplayable, but I think if you put this card in, you're probably making your deck worse.
alright, that's a green. You just want to take a little break?
Maybe take a small break.
Yeah.
I will try to like hurry up, I guess, a bit with the
Oh,
card.
this green was faster than yellow.
Yeah, I had some family stuff come up, so I'm gonna have to dip at some point, but I will be here for as long as until
Okay.
they start
So
yelling.
maybe
I'm
4
here.
minute break.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
still
Kevin,
here for the
Kevin
next
will be
3
here to
hours.
finish it up. So
As long as it doesn't take 3 hours to go over 2 colors. I'm
I just started
Gucci.
getting like spammed with text messages, and I'm just like, huh?
Jason! Jason!
Yeah, basically.
It's like heavy
Let's
rain.
finish. Yeah. Okay. See you guys soon.
Well, I'm still staying around. I don't
No,
have
no.
to go anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm still here for now.
Oh, this
so
guy's fucking
have fun.
going to use the bathroom.
He is disappearing, bro.
All right, boys.
Man, I have to leave for the actual like interesting colors in this set too.
All right, boys in the
Lucky.
chat, boys and girls in the chat. What Avatar decks have you been playing around with so far? If you are playing around with Avatar so far, I probably won't buy Avatar myself.
Well,
I'll probably just
the set
play.
came
my
out
friends.
like
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah. Come on, man. People could already be playing it. You know, you go locals day of, open some boxes, play with some friends. People are theory crafting this deck, the set. That is one of the best things about English original is that you get a chance to theory craft. But for some people, they don't like that because they know they're not good at the game and they don't like deck building. That's why in the Weiss Schwarz Discord, you already see so many people asking, give me Avatar decks. I don't know anything. And we don't have the horde of Japanese people to rely on. Actually, I probably will use the bathroom. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, have fun. Yeah, true. Don't break street dates. That's not good. We do not support breaking street dates. Although I personally don't really care, but yeah, Avatar, pretty cool. But if people think Sokka is an intended mechanic, bro, they haven't routed it yet. They had the chance. The router list came out. I'm kind of sus. It might just be intended. Who knows? Maybe they were pushed in an envelope, like we said they did with Levi. But Levi got routed like right when the set came out, right? So seems weird.
Okay, I do not think
that?
Sokka is as broken as IMA. Because Sokka only consistent of making your finishing turn nuttier. It doesn't like randomly start pushing you from level 0 to mid 2.
Yeah, so Sokka also isn't. They didn't give cards that really make Sokka abusable, honestly. Like, I do think it makes the Azula stuff like a bit more appealing, but I don't think it also breaks Azula and makes her like some top end either, because she has like legitimate problems because she is not big.
A standby finishing power Sokka is pretty insane. That's like the only reason why it pushes a standby.
Is that insane? It's like just a good finisher, right? Well, it has opportunity cost, right? It is. You can't do it if you're. Does Azula heal? She does heal, right?
Both
But
both of the 3/2 heals.
yeah,
Azula
so, I
and,
mean-
and Zuko.
you are technically still limited. You have to finish in that turn because you are clocking yourself. Which, I mean, if you can finish, it's fine. I don't think the numbers were like that insane compared to some other finishers, right? It's 3-2-2 or 3-2-2.
For
Something
Azula,
like that.
Azula is like 2/3/2 each time. Each Azula.
2-3-2.
Yeah.
Well, Zula swings for 2, burns for 3, swings for 2. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
2-3-2.
Before
Granted,
triggers.
you get a top deck with the Sokka, so it's
Okay,
a little bit better than that.
2/3/2 is technically quite good because you look at how much it costs for
it is
Licorice
good.
Licorice Recoil.
Okay, but Licorice Recoil doesn't have to reverse.
Yeah, but Licorice Recoil has a pay 3 ditch too.
Pay 3 just 1.
Was it not ditch 2?
No, it's 1.
Okay.
And that's also end of attack. So I don't know. It's not even Jade. I think it's a good top end. It's just it pushes, but needing to reverse is like real, like a real cost for that finishing power.
I mean, some people are playing. If you play Ace Standby,
And you also have to set it up. And okay, I don't think that thing.
I think if you play Ace Standby, you play Zuko top end because the Ace Standby
Yeah,
at least
probably.
tries to win board and open lanes that way.
Yeah, I think if you're playing Azula top end though, like I think it's good. It's like a good thing to play for, and it makes Azula actually like
Is my mic
appealing.
better now?
Oh,
Your mic is good now,
Yeah, we
yes.
can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah, I have my actual headset now.
All right, let's turn you up a bit though. All right, are you ready for red? After arguing about Ace Standby, here we go. Ace Standby time, baby.
Yeah.
Ooh. Alrighty. First card, 0/0 Zuko. When this is put on stage from hand, you put the top card of your deck into the waiting room. If that card is your World of Avatar character, this gets 2,000 power. Wow. Pay 1. When this is put on stage from hand, you pay the cost. If you do, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose the 1 card among them, put it into your clock, put the rest into your waiting room, and then salvage a World of Avatar character.
On play, salvage Ricky is probably the saddest thing. If it's on depth, I think this would be much better. But this is also your only way to like basically mill 4 cards early
Yeah,
game.
but this mill's like 4 basically. It's a salvage tricky that
Yeah.
mills 4, so that makes it a lot better. Like the
A lot better than it could have been.
Mayuri is was pretty okay, and this is better than Mayuri. So
Mayu from what?
it's sad about the first effect that it's like only itself gains power. If it gave like 2k power, that would be pretty sweet. But yeah, I think it's a good card.
What's Mayu from again?
Steins Gate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Granted, the effect more people would probably know this from realistically is Princess Connect, since that was like the
That's the one. You get
set that
refund
more
the stock.
relevance.
It refund the
Yeah,
stock.
But this is closer to actual Mayushi, because actual Mayushi was just that effect vanilla. No
what'd you
percent.
get this again?
I don't know. 4, 3,
Four.
3.
3, 4,
3, 4. We'll bump it up to a 4 for the fans. That's a good enough card.
Is it?
A good card.
Yeah, and it's also
Yeah, this also just isn't the always the Ricky choice though, which is
Yeah.
a thing to
There's
consider.
like
as well.
another very strong Ricky, which is actually not a very. It's a pretty strong Ricky itself, even without.
It's strong. It's strong when it's strong, right?
No, but like
I think that's.
I mean, even without the combo shenanigans, like just
It's-
play and not def.
yeah.
Pretty good, right?
on play on
sure,
depth
yeah, I
is
agree.
still good.
That is real. That is a really good part of it.
And this is like one of your few good red splashes that's not standby.
Yeah, actually, like this is like one of the best red cards because it's one of the only good red cards, and it also is one of the only cards that mills. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 3/2 Zuko. When this if all your characters are World of Avatar, this gets 3k power, so it's an 11k. When this put on stage from hand, you may heal 1. And then when siblings Agni Kai is placed in the climax area, if you have the Iroh, this gets +1 soul and the falling ability until end of turn. When this card activates once per turn, when your damage dealt by this is cancelled, you may stand this.
Yeah, so this will be swinging for
Standard
at least
Whipper.
3. And then if you hit soul triggers, it will be swinging for more. And it heals.
Well, you can manipulate the output of this card a lot because first of all, you can stand by more of the level 3 assist it gives this. No.
This guy.
Never mind, it doesn't work like this. Yeah, but yeah, the level 3 gives this scry, and if you have multiple of the level 3s, it actually like scries more. So it scries like instead of 2, it scries 3 because always look at 2, keep 1, discard 1. So it's stacked.
Mhm. I love quintuplets.
Also, this is like doesn't cost any stock, which is pretty relevant in the sense that if you play like 3 of these, like for sure one of them triggers, or like the opponent is dead anyways.
Yeah. Like this helps
So-
you keep putting extra damage unless your opponent cancels
Yeah.
6 times in a row.
So if you, since this doesn't cost stock, and one of them is basically guaranteed to like trigger, you end your thing with 4 stock, which is actually enough to play the T-Wisdom event twice, which actually extends like the reach this card has quite a lot. Because this also heals, right? So it's very unlikely that you die after the first swing, after you just heal down. So this basically, like the T-Wisdom events gives this like 2 more extra swings.
And if the card doesn't get routed, the Ahsoka Riki that we'll talk about
Yeah,
later,
and this obviously the
the healing down is
I think at
relevant
this
for that.
point it's not gonna get errated.
Yeah.
The Sokariki also like extends this combo a lot, but like a slight downside is when you use like the Sokariki stuff, like you
Lose
kill
board.
your board, so you
Yeah.
can't use the event as well anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like another way to like extend this combo. Like this combo actually has like a lot more reach than is like obvious at the first glance. Like
Mhm.
this is actually a pretty good card.
Alright, what would you give us? This loses to Memory Kick back up. I mean, it's swinging for 11k, 13k.
Oh,
I guess, yeah.
like yeah, you're just 12-5 base, but there's like
Oh yeah, it's 12-5 base. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's like
wasn't this Iroh the one that also pumps power when you trigger a soul trigger?
No.
Yeah.
That's a
oh, there's a
2-2.
different arrow.
That's a different arrow.
That
Oh,
arrow also exists.
shit.
That arrow is like 1-5 global, and then it also pumps power when you trigger soul trigger. So
I like
if
that
you
card.
need
That
the
card's
power,
so sick.
like if you need the power, this card will get over basically everything. But yeah. Yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah.
3.5, 4, maybe 4.
Yeah, we go 4.
Like,
One of the better finishers that people are looking towards.
Yeah, the
I think
full stand, the best one of standby.
I mean, like Kevin said this
Sigh.
before. If you play like 12 standby, you should play for this card, not for the Azul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. 100%. All right.
Speaking of
Azul,
Zula.
the other combo. Once put on stage your hand, you may heal one. When it attacks, this gets X power until the end of turn. X equal to the number of your opponent's characters times 500. And then when this card's battle opponent becomes reversed, if Sibling to Agni Kai is in your climax area and you have another Tai Li 2/1, you may pay one, pay one, sack a character. If you do, your opponent put the battle opponent on the top of their deck and then deal 3 damage to your opponent.
Okay, one of the cringiest thing is the power condition.
This card
But
gets
I mean,
weaker,
I mean,
yeah.
each time you resolve this one, your subsequent combos end up getting smaller.
But actually, like it's pretty sick flavor, right? Because she exhausts herself,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
uses the lightning stuff. So it's pretty cool, and also like she's like basically sacrifices like her friends, so she also sacks your other characters. I think flavor-wise, this card actually works pretty well. But yeah, it's of course a bit sad that you like end up losing power.
So the first one attacks at what, like 13, and then it's
Yeah, and
12-5,
you also-
and then the third one has no backups usually.
Ye-
So
Yeah, it depends. It depends on like where you stack the no backups, and I think like with this card, sometimes you will also like just stand out, like play 2 Tylees because this card is not that expensive, and then you have 2 lanes with anti-backup. And you can like do 2 Tylees, like give anti-backup, and then stand by out the Sokka, so you can still like Sokka for more swings.
true. That is pretty sick actually. I didn't think about that. That's like what, 8 stock? Yeah, that's pretty good.
So yeah,
9 stock, right? Because
Well,
you need to
9
pay
stock
for Soka.
depends, yeah. Depends on like how many of this you resolve and how many Sokkas you resolve. But like more likely is that you don't have like 3 easy reverse targets and you just resolve this twice. And then, like,
Yeah,
a bunch of Sokkas.
so the reason why people say we play 4 stand, we play this, and we play 8 stand, we play the other one. The other one helps you trigger standbys. This one doesn't really trigger the standbys, but it does have a guarantee sack to summon.
So there's like the standby. There's like multiple reasons. Like one of it is like the Zuko doesn't eat as many resources and plays a lot better towards when you win lanes with the standby deck. Like the Zuko is like a lot better because like if you win lanes, the Azula actually doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Azula like needs the Ty Lee assist, which is like not that great, because it's just a level X until like level 3, where it also does other stuff. It also gives anti-backup, which can be like useful, but it's like not the best assist. And the other deck gets to like Zuko gets to use the Eero assist, but the Eero assist, which is like global, is also a brainstorm, so it's like very good assist for a standby deck. But the Azula actually cannot use the Eero.
I mean, it can use it, but this
Can use it, but like
you're forced to
then,
use Ty Lee.
then your back row becomes like Eero plus 1 Ty Lee,
Yeah.
and then it's like hard to use the Sokka. Then
Yeah.
you'd have to do like Eero, Ty Lee, and Sokka front row, which also works. I think it's like the way the package of the Azula works, and the way the deck ends up looking. For 8 standby, it makes more sense to go the Zuko route and like use the T-Wisdoms to extend your reach. And this one is like works a lot better with like a leaner standby package, I think.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I think that makes a lot of sense.
All right, we'll just get this one.
3, because
Yeah.
I think it's a bit worse than
Zuko,
Zuko.
but since
I
we're
think
trying
it's, like,
testing out.
I think this is still a good card.
Yeah.
And it's probably worth like testing like how you can maximize this card. I also think it's cool. It's like in one part cool, in one part cringe how they made like combo on the same climax, but they're like they don't really work together at all.
Because you need the 2 different
But
macros.
you could make it work in theory to like
In theory.
solve both the combos, but it's like very very difficult.
Yeah,
So
you can have
it-
both.
And it's a lot of deck slots.
It's a lot of deck slots. It's a lot of like board slots. It's like they don't really interact with each other well, but it's like
Which is the
in theory
flavor.
possible. Yeah.
I mean, it is the flavor. They're like clashing with one another. All right, next card.
0-0 Zuko. When this is played on stage from hand, you may put one World of Avatar character from your hand into the waiting room. If you do, draw a card, and then when the damage dealt by this card is canceled, you may put this into your stock.
One of the only discard outlets for standby, like free discard outlet for standby early game. And I really wish this was like quintuplets was on play and on def.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's like quite sad how bad the red level zeros are, and this is like one of the better ones, which is something. You begrudgingly play this?
Yeah. In a standby, you begrudgingly play this.
I'm not even right now. I don't have it in 8 standby, but like I just play like a lot of level 1s, so that you're just like likely to like mill one from the starting hand, and then like play like oversizes. I think it's like hard to fit this in 8 standby or 12 standby or whatever. But yeah, it's like one of your only discard outs. The thing that makes this like you almost guaranteed play this in like the Aang deck, because it's one of the only ways you fix red, unless you play like the Azula level 1 combo, then you don't need to fix red. Yeah, the thing that makes this like a bit better is you get to like try to send it to stock, and if you fail, you can like bounce it with a JC and then try again. So that's like
Something.
cool, I guess. But yeah, this card is not good, and you're very sad that you have to play it, but you have to play it in some decks because either because it's red or because it's a ditch out.
Alright, what'd you give this?
2.
2 begrudgingly played tech.
Begrudgingly 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, here's this one.
All right.
This one's a bit better.
0-0's. Yeah, this card's pretty okay. 0-0 Zuko and Iroh. When this card is played on stage from hand, you may pay 1, discard 1 from your hand. If you do, choose one World of Avatar character in your waiting room, return it to your hand, then choose a World of Avatar character, give it 1k power, and when the damage dealt by this card is cancelled, you may put this back to your hand.
If you're willing to pay 1, this is a better discard outlet than the card before.
But like
Sure.
usually when you need the discard outlet, you don't have the stock.
Yeah.
Because of the first turn. But this is the better card in the Aang deck than the other one to like splash.
Because at least you get the sack potential of having bounce back to hand.
Yeah, but it's also like a bit sad, right? Because the other good card to fix red is a salvage wiki. So now you have like 6 salvagers.
Yeah.
early game salvages. It's also like a bit rough. But yeah, it's a drop salvage with upside. I think going to hand on cancel is better than going to stock on cancel in like 90% of cases. So yeah, it's a okay card. This is like a 2 that I'm not sad that I have to give it to. This is like an actually playable card.
Yeah.
Alrighty. 0-0 Iroh. When this card is placed on stage of your hand, choose one of your other World of Avatar characters. That character gets 1k power and T until the end of turn. And then return this to your hand. When the climax puts in the climax area, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your characters and give it a soul.
I know some people like to slam these profiles straight into H standby, but I don't think he's like necessary all the time. This is like a one of my thing. If you can grab it, you can grab it.
Because if you play this one off, you probably don't have it, right?
Yeah, it's just like you might not even just play this at all. It's like no need for
I
this.
think you either play 0 or 2, and I'm not sure this card is like worth committing like multiple deck slots to. Like,
This card is not as good as like the Nino.
Like the 8 standby deck already has like so much Twin Drive that you also don't really need the soul pump as much. Of course the soul is good, but it's like not as necessary. This just pumping 1k is like not,
No, yeah, it's not even 2k.
not doing enough. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's like a 2. This card could be played, but I don't think you play it.
I don't think it's
I'm not
necessary.
putting it into my decks right now.
Yeah.
1-0 Azula. If you have 2 more of the World of Avatar characters, it gets 2,000 power. When it attacks, if the climax is in the climax area and you have 2 more other World of Avatar characters, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Your opponent chooses one event or character from among them. You add it to your hand. You choose one of the other revealed cards. Put on the top of your except the card put into your hand. Put on the top of your deck and put the rest in the waiting room.
This
Are we able
wording
to
seems a
increase
lot
Christian's audio
weird.
levels? Kevin.
He is maxed on my end.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. I will try
sheesh.
to talk closer to
Oh.
the mic.
Okay.
That works.
Yeah. Thai
This is
combo.
this is the Thai. Yeah.
It's actually pretty good in this set because there's like a lot of level 1s with Twin Drive that can go with this. This just like stacks the CX trigger and then you Twin Drive it out.
That's like the biggest benefit.
Yeah, like the
But selection wise, this card's garbage.
yeah, the selection is bad, and the like, but it is mill, and because you like dig towards the climax triggers, like the climax triggers are in a way selection, right? Because it's door, and probably standby.
More choice.
Or choice, yeah. Yeah, or the level 3 Aang, yeah. So it's door, standby, or door choice. So your climax triggers become selection, and then you'll immediately pay them out. So it's okay. I think I like this card more here than in Bang Dream, even though Bang Dream has Toilet, which like made Thai like a tiny bit better.
Thai playable.
Yeah, I think this being on a door is also like pretty good for the card itself. So I think in the context of the set, this is surprisingly playable. But I'm not sure if like there's really a deck that wants this. 2, I guess.
2.
Alrighty, next card. 1-0 Mai. During your turn, if you have another World of Avatar character, this gets 3k power. And when this card is put into your waiting room from stage, you may pay the cost of paying 2 stock. Choose a World of Avatar character in your waiting room, return it to hand.
I think this is a wasted rare slot.
Yeah, this is a fucking rare.
Pretty bad. So like this is also the ATR for Mai, and I don't understand why I didn't just make the brainstorm the rare and the ATR.
What? They brainstormed the ATR? Okay.
Missed the call.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have a foil, I think. So
Smooch.
yeah, nice job Bushiroad choosing the foils. This card is not playable. 1.
Yeah, Bushiroad Ian is like actually one of the worst for choosing foils. Holy damn.
True. I also like how the Ty Lee that we're gonna get to is better non-foil than foil. Alright.
Okay,
Zuko
I
1-0.
disagree with that. People just like
Really?
shoot. Yeah, no, I think that the ATR looks really good on the Ty Lee, but
Okay,
I also
I'll take
wish
your
they
word
would
for
have
it, yeah.
split the Ty Lee cards, like the 2 good Tylee arts on 2 separate cards, not on the same card.
True. Fair enough. I don't remember what her other cards look like. I'm gonna be honest. 1-0 Zuko. When this comic's been in the climax area, this gets 2k power and the following ability: pay 1 twin drive. And when this card attacks, if you have another World of Avatar character, it gets 200 power.
So it becomes a 7/5 twin driver on basically on the turn though. A 4K off turn, which is okay for
I think
a
this is like pretty good card, like just straight up. It swings very big, and it's twin drive, so pretty reasonable. It's like it's good with the Azula. It's good in standby even because like this is like
well, Standby
this
already
is
has 4 twin drivers level 1.
yeah, but you can have more. I
True.
play like 7 twin drivers right now.
I think. Oh yeah, I think the reason we play this in that deck is because Sokka can't summon the 1/1.
Yeah. First of all, Sokka can summon the 1/1, and also like, yeah, it's just. I think this card is reasonable enough. It's like swings over things anyways, and then afterwards you can stand by over it. Like with the 1/1 Iroh, not the 1/1 Iroh, the 2/2 Iroh, this card actually becomes like 10k, 11k.
It becomes so 7/5 becomes 9k, and then every trigger is additional 1/5.
Yeah.
So you can swing if you double trigger, you become 12k.
Yeah, so this card gets actually pretty big.
Yeah,
And
pretty
I think
good.
that just level 1 twin drives that are big attackers are pretty solid in general. Yeah. I think it's a good card that is gonna see play in a bunch of decks. So 3.
3.
2-1 Tylee.
Popular.
Assist all the characters in front of this. Tylee popular. Thank you. It says all the characters in front of this get X power. X equals the level of the character times 500, and then resonate the 3/2 Azula, and then rest this. Choose one of your opponent's characters, and that card gets the following ability until the end of turn. During this card's battle, you cannot play events or backup from your hand.
This is the necessary card for Azula. At least it helps Azula get reverses.
So you have to have the Tylee on board, or the Azula does nothing.
Yeah. You need to tally a board
Sadly.
for
You can't even
Azula.
splash the Azula in like the other, like if you play the Zuko, you can't even splash the other one. You have to like full commit.
Full
Quite
commit.
sad. But like this is a decent card, but it also makes me quite sad because like Machine of Ice Xenon is like what 2014 card, and
Okay.
Machine of Ice was arguably almost better. So this card is like either missing a third effect or something.
Yeah, it's because she's a
also have to,
5k
like-
body. She's
Yeah.
yeah.
She's huge.
It also needs to resonate for the effect, for the Machine of Ice effect, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like they could have given this card a third effect.
Could have given away to power pop again, or something like
Yeah.
all your Zula gets plus 1k or something like that at least.
Anything. Literally anything.
Just a bit more to be
Like, even
really
if
good.
it's just like when one of your characters is put into waiting room from stage, give 1k to something.
Okay. Or like the
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, because that synergizes with the Sula, kind of synergizes when like stuff dies. Yeah, whatever.
True. Unfortunate though. Or at least
Yeah.
if you're gonna
It's still, like,
resonate, it lets you choose 2 characters to give it effect.
Yeah. Also, like the other thing is the effect is on your opponent's character and not on yours.
Yep. Hexproof
So
law.
that doesn't work against hexproof, so that's another like sad thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe it's still a 3. No, just give it a 2. But it's necessary for
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
it's
you
not a
play
bad
against slime.
card. Like anti-backup is still pretty good. It's just like it could have been better.
But yeah, this ends up dying against slime. Hex
Yeah.
board with multiple ways to get counters. Smooch man.
Yeah, it's pretty miserable. Alright, 3-2 Iroh. All of the others, Zuko and Aang, Dancing Dragon, and Zuko for honor. Get the following ability. When this card attacks, go to the top 2 cards of your deck, choose a card from among them, put on the top of your deck, put the rest in the waiting room. All your other World of Avatar characters get 1500 power, and pay 1, rest 2, brainstorm. For every climax you hit, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put 1 to your hand, so the rest to waiting room.
Yeah, so this lets your standby stuff that's not Azula, the Zuko standby stuff, dig for triggers in general, dig for standby triggers if you want to play over, get a stronger board. And being a brainstorm means you can plays over your brainstorm slot. And it's check 3 brainstorm. It helps you find your standby.
Like, not that it matters that much, but do like global 1500s usually not get an on-play effect?
Usually they do, but I think
They
its
want
first
to
effect
do-
overrides
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's-
there's 2 other effects.
Yeah, but the first effect, like counting as an on-play effect, is so weird to me. But it, like 1500, like you will basically never play this from hand, so it shouldn't come up. But it's still a bit weird. 1500 global is alright. Something you always want. I think the brainstorm is actually really good. Like brainstorm and assist, like power assist, is always super sweet.
Yeah, it's good.
And this being check 3, finds climax, finds event, very good. The ability to trigger check is obviously very good for the Zuko. It's like alright for the Zuko and Aang. Like with the Zuko and Aang is awkward because like the standby spawns it out and then you spawn another one out, but you don't have the assistant.
Until you trigger it.
Your standby actually called your front row and not your back row. Yeah, so you need to trigger it. But this one is what would help you trigger the standby, so it's like a bit of a weird card because like by the time you can use this to trigger standbys, you already like won the board and have like almost a full board. So yeah. But I'm not sure like about the Zuko and Aang card in general, but yeah. That part is less relevant. But yeah, otherwise it's a solid card. The check 3 brainstorm is pretty good.
Alright, what would you rate this?
3.
3.
Also the Judge PR looks sick.
Judge PR looks hella sexy. Alright, this should be the last rare for red after getting like 10 rares.
And then I'm going to dip out to this one. Okay. 3-2, Zuko and Aang. During your climax phase, when this card is placed on stage by the effect of the climax, you may pay the cost, pay 1, put 1 card from your hand to the waiting room, put the climax into the waiting room. If you do stand this, choose 1 Zuko and Aang Dancing Fire or Dancing Dragon in your waiting room, put it on any stage on the slot on the stage. At the beginning of your attack phase, if this card is in your center stage, you may choose 1 of your opponent's level 1 or higher characters. If you do, choose to 1 level X or lower character in the waiting room, exchange them. X equals the level of the characters chosen minus 1. Okay, level down.
So yeah, if you're playing a standby as a purely board breaking deck, you have a lot of ways to do that. With the 2/2 eye roll is powered, your 1/1's hitting big numbers, and then this thing is just destroying your dismantling your opponent's board.
Yeah, I mean if this effect is like good, like this like really destroys your opponent's board, but you don't really have good defensive counters. So I'm just not sure where you really want to play this.
Well, you have anti-change
Also, it
counter.
takes, like, and also this is like a 4 deck slot commitment, right?
Yeah, you have to play at least 4. Or at least
And,
3, if
like-
ideally 4.
And the only real defensive counter, this also needs like the second copy in waiting room, right? That's the problem.
Yeah.
And the only real defensive counter needs 3 green, so that also doesn't work already. So it's, I don't know. I think this card is missing support to actually be playable, but yeah.
Unfortunate.
It's a cool card though.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, well that'll be all for me. You guys have a good rest of this stream.
Alright, bye
And
loser.
we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. I need to fix the stream again.
So should I read the card effects or?
I'll read it now too. Don't worry about it. You just keep doing your thing. I just need to figure out how I can turn off this thing here. Oh, wrong one. Fix the overlay here. Alright. Let's move Yabi back above me. There we go.
Give this card a 2.
Alright. 2 it is. Alright. Next we have 0/0 Tai Li. When this card becomes reversed, you can, if the battle opponent is level 0 or lower, you can reverse that character. And when it's put from your waiting room when this card is put into your waiting room from stage, you can discard a World of Avatar character. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 of the Brainstorm that we'll talk about later, or 1 of your Azula Finisher. Add the hand, shuffle your deck. So it is your bonder to your brainstormer and your finisher, which if you are playing the brainstormer, it's pretty good.
I mean, bonding to brainstorm and finish is actually like quite strong.
Yeah,
It's a bit annoying that it's on def, but yeah,
but at least it's a search.
yeah.
Better
So in
than
this,
better than the Soko one.
yeah, like the sad part is that the Tough Brainstorm is so good that even in the Azula deck, you might not actually play the My Brainstorm. So
I would think the same too.
yeah,
Top brainstorm's
so
way too good.
I mean, I guess you can still give this a 2 because it's in theory a good card, but like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure about the Brainstorm situation.
Unfortunately, the red brainstorm's a search one, and the green brainstorm's a salvage one too.
Colors don't make sense anymore.
I'm part
But
of the salvage only gang, salvage brainstorm only game.
yeah, salvage is usually better.
All right, 1-0 Lord Ozai, his only card for being such a prominent character. All your characters gain the following ability: this cannot side attack. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you put the top card of your deck into waiting room, which is level 0 or lower. Choose one level cost 0 or lower character in your opponent's center stage and put it into their waiting room. So it can kill overall combos and hate on my Psychono deck.
Yeah, so like killing cost zeros is just not good right now, so this card is also not good.
Yeah, just the one. Nothing relevant to kill. 1-1 Iroh. With the character facing this is cost 0 lower, this cannot be reversed. And we other World of Avatar character attacks, this gets plus 1k power until the end of turn. So if this is the third character that attacks, which this becomes a 6k, yeah. Which is
It has
worse.
a soul trigger, that's why it's so weak.
Oh, okay.
But also, like the anti cost 0 cards are not that good right now because Alice is a deck, so
And Nino is a deck too.
yeah, and
With the
standby
movie
decks
set.
also exist. Yeah, so yeah, just don't play this probably. But it exists. If like the meta shifts enough to where everyone is mostly only playing cost zeros again, then this card is like playable. So 2.
2. Not really worth slots right now, but maybe in the future. Alright, this is the better one. 1-1 Zuko. If you have another World of Avatar character, this gets plus 1500 power in the following ability. When it's attacked, you can pay 1 if you do trigger check twice. And hand encore by discarding a character. So encore by discarding a character. And when this card's trigger check reveals a soul trigger, this turn until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gets plus 1k power. So if you trigger 2 soul triggers, this becomes a 8k. If you trigger no soul trigger, it's a 6k. This is seen in Nijigasaki if you play Japanese.
Nijigasaki I?
Yeah, I
something.
is I.
Yeah. And it's basically a 7k hand encore with Twin Drive, which is like pretty sick. It's actually probably the best 1-1 standby target you can have.
And there is support to make this even huger.
Yeah, like the 2-2 Eero also makes this bigger. Like in your standby decks, you jam 4 of this and you jam some number of like other targets. But you start with 4 of this in the standby decks.
Now I saw this, it's like, okay, this makes standby playable because now you have the 12 standby and you have the twin drives. So you can actually just like turbo out a bunch of standby triggers at level 2.
Yeah.
Alright, what'd you get this? 3. I forgot this one. 2-1 Zuko. When you use this card's backup, put the bottom X cards of your opponent's deck into waiting room. X is equal to the number of World of Avatar characters you have. It's 3k backup. So it's a 3k million opponent backup, but you million bottom opponent. Yeah. I do not like these cards.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Like this set has memory kick counter.
Yeah.
So it already has like a better utility counter than this. So there's like no reason to ever play this one.
It's just not Love's Life Sunshine. Speaking of 2-2 Iroh, that we mentioned multiple times before. 2-2 Iroh. If you have 2 more World of Avatar character, this gets plus 3k power and the following effect. And when your character's trigger check reveals a card with a soul trigger icon, choose one of your World of Avatar character this turn. It gets plus 1500 power. And during your turn, all your other World of Avatar character gets plus 1500 power. So by himself, he's 8-5, and if he himself triggers soul trigger, he becomes 10k. But the biggest point is it buffs all the other characters.
Yeah. This is like the way that you get over stuff, basically. it's not ideal because this thing doesn't have hand on core and is actually not that big on defense, but it's like helps you get on offense over stuff, and you try to make up for the fact that your board dies on defense by just like triggering more standbys by twin driving a lot and like having more standbys in the deck in general. Yeah, it's a bit of an enabler for like the 12 standby deck in general because it helps you like push over things offensively that you otherwise might not be able to.
One of the benefits of this is that it does work well in the back row, so it's like a pretty good standby target at level 1.
Yeah, it works well in the back row, and it's also like okay in the front row.
Yeah, it's not the best
yeah.
in front row, but it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, what'd you give this?
2, I guess. Yeah.
All right, next we have 2/2 Azula. If all your characters are World Avatar, this gets plus 500 power and hand core, so it'll be 8/5 of hand core. And when it's taxed, you can sack one of your World Avatar characters from your station to waiting room. And if you do, reveal the top card of the deck. If it's level 1 or higher, add the hand. People like talking about this with the Zuko. The Zoka. Soka Reki.
You could, in theory, use this to like use the Sokka early, but that's not good. Like at that point, you're just like trading 1 damage for like trying to potentially deal 1 damage to your opponent. It's like not a great trade, usually. But I think this card is like pretty fine because this deck has like more standbys, and because this deck sucks at playing defense anyways. You can like use this to like you crash something, sack it, then twin drive, replace the card you just sacked. It's like pretty okay to like keep up hand, and also has hand on core. So yeah, it's an okay card.
Just 2.
Yeah, 2.
Next, we have Aang. When this card is placed in stage from hand, all your opponent's character in the center, in the front row, center stage, whatever it's called, gets minus 500 power until the end of turn. And you can act, discard 1, sack this, and then choose a World Avatar character in your waiting room, salvage it.
Yeah. I usually don't like the helmet profiles, like the ditch sack, but like in some decks it's alright. If you need the selection, the cost of selection, and you have like the upside of randomly dunking on Saikano, I guess.
Okay. Just 2.
2.
Soft dunking is Saikano. 0/0 Iroh, it's a front 500 assist, and then you can act, pay 1, sack this to check 4, add a World Avatar character.
You only really play this to like make your standby triggers into like +1s because you like pop this to the back row and then like sack it for a card in hand.
It's being a pay 1 though.
Standby decks. Yeah, you have to pay 1. It's okay. It's like not Ichigo Brainstorm.
That's for sure. And the set doesn't have a Rico. I think the benefits of coins is that you can grab this whenever if you need a mill for.
Yeah. 2.
0/0 My Betrayal. At the start of your climax phase, you can reveal the Azula. 3/2. If you do, choose up to 2 of your World Avatar characters. And this turn, those character gets plus 500 power. And then it is a pay 1 taps out search brainstorm for World Avatar characters.
I mean, giving 500 is like pretty alright for brainstorm effect, but actually it's not that good because it's just 500.
Yeah, it's not crazy resonate. It's not like what's it called?
Yeah.
Assault Lily, their resonator that gave 2k.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like that card was insane.
Okay, like if this gave 2k on the resonate, there's like an actual reason to play this over the top brainstorm.
Yeah, but 502 characters is not
Yeah.
enough to merit.
Yeah. 2, but you basically never play this, I think.
Yeah, unless they're really stressed for red. And
Yeah, or really want the map, or really want to search brainstorm, I don't know.
Yeah. Emperor Island, scarred on the wrong side. He's not the blue one, so we'll read him though. He is considered Zuko on stage, and then during your turn, if you have another Emperor Island Aang, This gets plus 3k power, so it's 5k in your turn. And when it's attacked, you check top 2 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card from among them, keep on top and send the rest of the rain room, and then it gives 1k to the Aang.
Terrible. 1. It's not big on your opponent's turn, so it's useless.
Yep. 0-0 Zuko. If you don't have another character, this gets plus 1 level and plus 1500 power, so it's 4-5 level 1. And then when this is placed on stage from hand, if your opponent waiting room has 5 or more climaxes, rest this. So randomly late game could just be useless.
I mean, the downside is very rarely gonna come up, but when it comes up, it's gonna be like super bad. And
Yeah.
the other thing is, this needs to be alone.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Sao got like a better version of this card.
There's better version where it's 2k base and it pumps 2-5 and becomes
Yeah.
level 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it requires 1 or less other characters instead of being totally by itself.
Yeah. True. I mean, there's like, I could see this innate standby as like running very thin level 0 and then like just using this as your oversize, because like the oversize that almost guaranteed lives, but
I play this kind of profile in Slime, and yeah, that's basically guaranteed living unless the opponent pulls out a 3-card combo.
yeah.
But yeah.
Usually you shouldn't play this.
Yeah. 1-0 Aang. When this is placed on stage from hand, this turn it gets plus X power. X is equal to the number of your World of Avatar characters times 500. So you have a full board against 2-5, so become a 7k. And when this card's battle point is reversed, if you have another World of Avatar character, you can draw 1. If you do, discard 1. Very low filter effect. I wish this was one of those on reverse salvage stitch at least.
Yeah, this is like not good enough. Like the secondary effect is so minuscule. Just 1.
Just the 1. And we got 3-2 Tia Wisdom. If you do not have a character of Iroh in his name, this cannot be played from hand. But luckily, your 2-2 and 3-2 Iroh will likely be in your board. And then you put the top 5 cards of your deck into wing room, deal X damage to your opponent. X is equal to the number of soul triggers milled, basically. Oftentimes, if you're playing 8 standby, which you will likely play if you're playing any Iroh cards, you will have a abundance of soul trigger.
Like, this will usually be a burn 2 or burn 3, which is pretty good. And the Zuko doesn't cost any stock, like any extra stock, so you can like use this. So this actually, I think this is like pretty undervalued and like a very strong card. And what gives like you more reach, like if you use this and the Zuko's, like sometimes you have like 7 or 8 swings, and if you extend it with the Sokka, then sometimes it will be even more. But like Sokka actually doesn't work well with this one because Sokka punches you, and then they can just side on the Sokka.
Yeah.
So you might die before you get to use this, but like in general, this like just extends the Zuko pretty well. I think it's a good card. 3. Well, it's a good card in specifically that deck, I guess.
Alright,
Like Tolstoy.
that's it for red. You want to take a little break, or you want to just jump
No,
in blue?
let's just power through this. I'm
Alright,
dying.
we're finishing it up. Blue, and then we got some PRs at the end. Alright, starting off blue, we got 1-0 Sokka. During your turn, this gets plus 3k power, so 6-5 in your turn, 7-5 CX. When it attacks, if you have the Space Sword in your climax area, so the Pants CX in your climax area, and the total level of cards in your level zone is 2 or higher. So if you experience 2, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 event or World of Avatar characters from among them, revealed to your opponent, add a hand, and put the rest in the wing room. And this turn, this gets plus 500 power, so it becomes an 8k with the combo.
Yeah, I usually don't like check 3 combos because they're pretty bad selection. This one can grab events, which is like upside, and it's also decently sized big, and it's on a pants, and you can play more than 8 pants triggers actually, so it's like quite easy to loop. It's like an alright combo.
Yeah, it's one of the few mills in the set too, as we mentioned before. Oh, this is a combo mill, and so there's only 2 combos that has like decent mills.
Well, 3, Azula, Toph, and this one.
Well, Toph is a mill too, so it's not that much more mill. I guess Mill
I
3
mean,
is not crazy
mill
about
2,
it.
mill 3. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mill 3 ends up being like you go through 10, you can go through 12 cards with triple combo versus
Yeah, sure.
9 cards.
But like, for example, if Toph triggers a bar, she mills like 2 extra cards.
Oh, yes, that's
Because
true.
you like stock 1 and then clock swap 1. But yeah.
But yeah. Alright, what would you
3, I guess.
3?
Yeah.
Fine combo.
It's like an alright combo, yeah. Experience is a bit annoying though.
Yeah,
Because there's not that much experience cards. In
if you're not running 8 pants, you're gonna have to slam 4 of the EP healer for the experience. Speaking of EP healer, this is also a promo. 3-2 Katara. If you have 4 more other World of Avatar characters, that gets -1 level in hand, so you can only play with 4 more. And when this is placed on stage from hand, if you have another World of Avatar character, this gains the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. During your opponent's next turn, this gets +4k power. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1 card. If you do, put the top card of your clock into stocks as a stock healer. Do note that the 4k is only during your opponent's turn, so it will be 8-5 swinging, and then it'll be 12-5 on your opponent's turn, and then it'll go back to being just 8-5 always.
It's like very interesting card.
Mhm.
It's like an EP that doesn't really help you like
Win board,
board?
but it'll help you stay on board
Yeah.
versus most usual EPs.
it's quite interesting. It's like a bit annoying that it's a stock healer because like I think nothing really costs a lot of stock in this set, and you'd rather like just keep the stock, keep the hand. But yeah, you get what you get.
It's the only EP healer in the set, too.
Yeah, it's the only EP healer in the set, so kind of forced to play it in most decks. It's alright. It's like a decent card. Sometimes it's gonna live, sometimes it's gonna like make back the hand that you sacrificed by playing it, but just like staying alive. With an assist, this is like 14-5 base, which is already quite massive. With a counter, is like not dying.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's alright.
What would you give this?
4, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Next, we have 3-2 Katara. If all your characters are World of Avatar, this gets +1 key power, so it's 10-5. When it's attacked, if you have Spirit Water in your climax area, which is the Pan CX, and the total level of cards in your level zone is 4 or higher, so if you experience 4, put the top card of your deck into Winging, so heal 1. And until the end of your opponent's next turn, this gives the following ability. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, choose 2 of your opponent's character, and those characters gets -1. -1 so until the end of turn. Yeah. So you have 2 characters, you can go -2, -2, basically.
Yeah. And there's an event that early plays this card.
Yeah, so this will be early playable. Bit small, but if this does live and you can play Pants again, you are healing a lot. This is like
10-5 is like not that small. Like you're 12-5 with the top assist, 13-5 swinging, which is not ginormous, but it's like okay power. And with this combo, you will also play a Shimakai, basically guaranteed, because the Shimakai is like a costless level 2 that you pick up for the event. So there's like ways to make this big.
I think one of the
And this-
downside of like -1 combos, kind of like Sora, is that even though you're -2 souling, if your opponent are 2 soul bodies with CX, they're still doing chip damage with
or
ones.
they will chip at some point, but this is like just heals chip away.
Yeah,
So, when this sticks, it's actually like hard to win.
Yeah, this healing is pretty nuts.
Yeah, and
if it
also like
sticks.
the turn you play it, they also cannot remove it. So you get like a turn of -soul guaranteed unless they are hexproof themselves.
Yeah, the only problem is
It's only
if
AOT.
slime does come out or AOT,
Oh yeah,
then they know.
slime is like pretty cringe.
Yeah, slime is gonna be giga cringe because the combo is basically you're basically just playing a heal looping combo now instead of just a -0 combo.
Yeah.
Which heal looping is still like okay.
Yeah, it's still something, yeah. And also slime like has to like crash, right? Basically, or decide for nothing back.
They're 13-5 with CX. So yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the -soul combo that has the most potential so far, and I feel like I've said this like a bunch of times. We've said this about like Priestess, oh, this is the strongest -soul combo yet, maybe it's finally playable. Then we said it about like I think the Data Life card was also like quite strong, but no one really tried it. I think that one was also hexproof, or was it -3
Right.
soul?
I think there's
Don't
only
remember.
two minus combo. Besides Sora, two minus combo that saw niche play, which was Emilia and the Arisa.
Yeah. Is the Kuro back then also saw play, but I'm pretty sure that card was never actually good. It was just massive copium. But yeah, maybe this time it's finally good enough. I think it has potential.
Alright,
The event
Sora
itself
still
is also
sees.
quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sora still sees play, but Sora is like quite pushed in the way she comes out because she like
Spams
spawns
herself.
herself,
Yeah.
and even that is like just good enough to be playable.
Yeah. Because it's like 5 stocks to triple.
Yeah.
And you don't need to sculpt much except for one combo and one of the 2-1s.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, what'd you give this one?
3.
3? Just a 3.
I think it has potential to be very good, but we'll
Need
see.
testing. We need
Also,
testing.
like, yeah, also it's like very meta dependent.
Does it scale over Alice?
You
Through
probably
counter?
can make it scale over Alice. Like baseline, it's just 13.5, so it will not scale counter. But there's probably ways, like maybe you just play a global or something.
Oh, the event doesn't give it like
Yeah.
the event doesn't give it anything.
No, the event gives power when you use it to heal, not when
Ah,
you use it to early play.
unfortunate.
But the event gives hexproof when you use it to early play.
Will this be useless with Irons in the horizon? That is also a case too. Irons will just blow us up. Oh no, Irons cannot target this because this the event that will early play this will give us hexproof. So Irons cannot blow this up until the subsequent turns. But even then, Irons only gets 1 kill button per game. So if the timing's not lined up properly, Irons might not be able to have this.
Ants doesn't.
Oh, Irons won't be able to be
You're
able
like
for this.
pretty delayed, and yeah, and also like by the time Ainz blows this up, you already got like 2 turns of heals and like minus soul. So, and
Yeah.
Ainz like pushed itself like quite hard, right?
I was playing. I
So,
played the deck quite
I
a
think
bit.
you're pretty ahead at that point, probably.
Yeah. Irons will always try to turn 3 combo, turn 3 or 4 combo. Alright, next we got 0-0 Katara. If you don't have another Katara Quick Thinker, so it copies itself, the number of cards put from the top of your deck into Wayman by the Climax combo effect of the Aang Master of All Element is +1. So your 3-2 Aang that we talked about all the way at the beginning of the show can now mill 5, but cannot mill. It's not stackable. You cannot have multiple of this out, unfortunately. When your other World of Avatar character in the middle position of the center stage, so center stage, center slot of the front stage, front row, gets plus 1500 power. I hate English terminology. And Climax combo, rest this when the Pants CX picture below is placed in your Climax area. You may rest this. If you do, choose one World of Avatar character in Waymo and put it into stock. I wish it was off the same CX, but unfortunately it's different CX.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Would be pretty cool if it was on same CX, but yeah.
It makes this card
like
more
just
playable
having
than...
this as like rest to stock one as like its own climax combo that's not comboing with anything else feels quite weak. But the card is still good because it like makes the Aang better, but it only goes in the Aang deck. And I don't think you ever played a climax.
Yeah, it's basically do nothing except maybe even one of 1500 power in the center slot.
Yeah.
Until level 3.
Oh, yeah. 2.
Necessary is 2 necessary card for the Aang deck. On its own, it's not good. Jozo Katara, when it's placed on stage from hand, choose one of your opponent's character. This turn, it cannot move until the end of your opponent's next turn. It cannot move to another position on the stage. And when this card is placed on stage from hand, you can discard Climax. If you do, choose one character in your Wayman at the hand. One World of Avatar character.
Anti-run feels quite niche, but it can like matter because like you can use the JC to like pump something 2k and then kill a runner. But yeah, anti-run is pretty niche.
You're mainly playing this for a second effect, yeah.
Is what you're mainly playing it for, but actually like the decks that need the ditch out, like the bar and Pants decks actually already have quite a bit of ditch outs, so I'm not sure how much play this really sees. Probably like some decks will want one copy of this, and that's about it.
Two. The 6th option in the set. Alright, here we go. Soka. Zozo Soka. When this card is placed on stage from hand or put into your wave room from stage, you can pay 1 and choose a World Avatar character in your wave room and put it at the bottom of your clock. If you do, set your deck for up to 1 cost 0 or lower World Avatar character with level equal to or lower than your level, and place it on the stage in any slot and shuffle your deck. Do note that since it doesn't summon it standing, or it doesn't summon it rested, if this is sent to the wave room somehow during your attack phase, and you can summon a cost 0 standing and then attack with it. Which is why people are hyping this card up. And a standby specifically. You're muted if you're talking.
Sorry. Yeah, like mostly abusable in standby because standby triggers let you summon over this, but also Azula sacks this, like both Azula cards sack this, and that can also work with Ahsoka to enable extra attacks. But unlike the Ayame, this one is a lot harder to use with Global Soul, is a lot harder to use in first deck, and actually like punches yourself. So I think for the most part, this should be treated as like a finisher extension. Like on the turn you go for game, this can give you like 1, 2, if you're lucky, 3 extra swings. Which is like still quite strong, but it's not like as crazy as Ayame or Banworthy. So I think like the card will stay as is and will probably be fine, will be strong, but not too strong. It's also just like an on play and on def, like Ricky, which is already pretty solid. Right?
Outside of the whole a standby pushing your damage gimmick, it is still just a good card in general because it's on play and on def, so it has usage of.
Has uses going first, uses going second. Or not going second, but like the turn after you attack, I guess. Yeah.
And if you can't summon your combo, you can at least summon copy yourself again, and stuff like that. And I think all the combos gain powers. Not on play.
All of the combos work with the Ahsoka.
Yeah.
The only card that doesn't really work with the Ahsoka is like the Zuko that gains Twin Drive, because that's on Climax Place. But yeah.
Well, what would you give this? Some people.
I'm tempted to give this a 5-star, just because it's like a unique card.
Yeah. Would this be your only 5-star of the set? Is this the best card in the set?
I'm not sure. I think the best card in the set might actually be the Toph Brainstorm, as boring as it sounds. But I think this is like a unique card. So I guess if we want to give something a 5-star, I guess this is it.
Here we go.
The Aang is like more unique, but it's not as strong.
The air horn for the 5-star. Let's go, baby. This is. I think this is like the card that most people are talking about. It's either the Aang 3-2 or the Ahsoka.
Yeah.
When people are talking about Avatar, the reason to play the set is either you're memeing with a quad color or you're abusing the multi-attack finishing power that this card offers.
I think so too.
If people look at Toph, it's like people only play Toph if you like Toph. People only play Katara if you like Katara. But if you're not a big Avatar fan, you're probably looking at Ahsoka or Aang as reasons to play the set.
It's like the most unique things, yeah. Because Toph is like, in my eyes, just Kanata but better, and Katara is like another minus soul deck, and this is like something different, something new.
Alright, sounds good. Enough of us about talking it. There's like whole other content channels talking about this card. Nindo's even out there reviving his channel after one stint to talk about Ahsoka to extent. Didn't you say Aang got 2? We gave Aang a 3. Even though we don't think Aang is a good card, like the craziest finisher of the set, but it is a card worth building around. It's kind of awkward there. It's a card that you want to build around, but it's not a card that's good, particularly good or great.
I mean,
It's a good
we
card,
said-
but it's not
we said
particularly
the
like
card
amazing.
is good. It's just like maybe not good enough, or maybe not like worth enough. I think
Yeah.
we gave it 3. Or
We gave
4,
it a
I'm not
3.
sure.
We gave it a 3.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe we're wrong. This is all just initial reaction here. Everyone else is doing
Like the Aang is
70s.
probably the thing that takes like the longest to be good,
Mhm.
or maybe not because like most people are building it, but yeah, it takes like a bit to make that card to like realize like how good that card really is, and it seems okay at least. Like it seems decent with like some issues, but yeah.
Alright, continuing on. We got 1-0 Katara. If the total level of cards in your level zone is 2 or higher, this gets +1 level plus 2500 power, so it becomes 6k level 2. And during your turn, when this card's battle point is reversed, if you have another World of Avatar character, you may put that character to the bottom of your opponent's deck. So this is a level 2, 6k level 2, so it has some use with the event we'll talk about later. And it's hard removal if you need it.
Yeah, but 1-0 hard removal is like usually you would want hard removal on something big, right?
Mhm.
Not on the 6k. I think like the Shimakai
That we'll
is
talk
just
about
a lot
later.
better
Yeah.
with level 2 target. So I think this card just doesn't really have a home. Like bottom deck removal on a level 1 is not that great right now, I think. You can like when you hit level 1 first, you can like stock kick some aquas or stuff like that, but other than that it's not that useful. So 1.5.
Right. Alright, next we got 2-1 Katara. It is a memory kick backup. So when you use this backup, give the battling character on reverse mandatory memory kick. While being 2k.
You're happy that you have this. It's not like crazy, but it's like always nice to have. Like especially for the Toph and the Katara decks.
You want a 3k backup.
Yeah, you want 3k backup. Memory kick is like the best utility to have because it shuts off like some combos. So yeah, I think solid 2-star.
Yeah.
Happy to have this.
Nichely usable against some meta finishers.
Yeah.
Stuff like Nino. You can randomly just shut off Nino if you
Nino,
somehow actually
Silica.
you make Escanor have to side.
Yeah.
Stuff like
TRV, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Alright, next. We have 2-1 Ahsoka. Experience. If you have experience 5, this gets plus 500 power and handling core. And when it's attacked, so the character facing this level 3 or higher, this gets plus 6k power. So it can be at 13.5 against level 3 handling core.
It's actually like quite a strong effect.
Yeah,
But
it's kind of like
It's a
Cyclone.
repeatable out
Similar.
to level 3s. But I don't see a home for this because this needs experience, so it's not really splashable. And like the experience deck doesn't really want this. And like for the other decks, it's quite costly to like get to experience 5.
Mhm.
So 1.5. It's like a good card, but it doesn't really have a home.
Next, we have 2-2 Katara and Aang. This gets plus 2k power for each of your other World of Avatar characters in your backstage. So 2 of them, this becomes a 10-5. And when your climax is placed in climax area, you have 2 more other World of Avatar character. Choose up to 2 cards from your two of your characters, and those character gains the following ability until the end of turn. When it's attacks, look at the top 2 cards of the deck, choose 1 card from among them, put on top of the deck, and put the rest in the waiting room. So it is a standby target that you could possibly play. It's 10-5, so it's bigger than the other 2-2s, and it helps you trigger
It's
standby.
like the best 2-2 on defense, and it's also like helps you trigger even more of your 12 standbys than like the other twin
Yeah,
drivers
yeah.
help you trigger. So you can trigger a lot of standbys with this deck.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's alright. It's like decent in a standby deck.
2. You can summon this for free in the other decks.
Yeah, you
but...
can summon this for free with the
with the
combo,
choice combo.
with the level 0 combo, but you're not playing that card.
Yeah, we're not playing that card ever. Alright, next we got 1-0 Ahsoka. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard 1 card from hand. If you do, choose 1 level 0 lower character in your wing room, place on stage in any slot. And when this attacks, you can choose 1 of your World Avatar characters. This turn it gets plus X power. X is equal to the number of the other World Avatar character you have times 500. I personally play this in my Pan standby deck. I think it's pretty good because you summon Ahsoka and then power pump Azulas. But other
Yeah.
than that, I don't see much use for this.
It's like a reasonable. It's like 2 reasonable effects, right?
Mhm.
It's like Shimakai and it has the thing. But like the set already has a bunch of power pumps. So if you don't specifically want like are in blue already and want to summon like level zeros, like have like more level zeros than just the brainstorm that you want, it's like hard to like really sell on this card. Especially because it doesn't like salvage the zero, so you can't even like grab the level zero that bonds to the event or something.
Mhm.
Yes, 2. Sometimes good utility.
Yeah, something like good utility. I wish the level 0 combos were better. That's would be really good. But unfortunately, not. I mean, I guess you can use it as a top. Top
Yeah,
level 0, but
kind of.
who's
Yeah.
playing that? 102 and La. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can pay 2 if you do a free fresh.
I never think these cards are playable. It's like there have to be so many circumstances happening for this to be playable. It's like I will just give this a 1.
Yeah, I only like this if you have a Rico effect, so you can grab this on demand.
If you have a Rico that you play a lot of, and you have a and it's on a level 0, and it has like another somewhat reasonable effect, then sure. But there's
Yeah.
like a lot of ants, and none of these are actually exist with this card. So.
Yeah.
One.
Unfortunate. Ah, here we go. 0-0 Salami Yang. When it's placed in stage from hand, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. If the total number of cards revealed among those is 3 or more, choose 1 card from among them, add the hand, and put the rest in the wave room. So if you reveal 3 different colors, you can add any of those cards, including events and climaxes. And when this is placed on stage from hand, you may choose the bottom card of your clock and one of your avatar character in your wave room, exchange them. So this lets you set up just colors so that you can play quad color more easily.
Fixes your colors and pluses you like more than a third of the time, apparently, if you build your deck properly to support this, which is pretty strong. And like you get to use this with JC, so you like use this if you whiff, JC use it again, or even if you hit. Like you get to like use this a lot throughout the game, and it will plus you like a bunch of cards.
What's the do you know the percentage of this will hit if you play like decent enough ratios of colors?
If it's decent enough ratios, it's like 36 plus. Like it ranges from like 30
30 to
to like
40.
it goes up to 40. Yeah.
Yeah, 30 to 40% chance of this hitting.
And it doesn't go down that fast, so you can play like pretty. You don't have to like hard commit to like even colors, and this will still like, be pretty good.
So yeah, about almost 1/3 of a chance and better than 1/3 of a chance to go +1. But it's also a good way to fix colors with the second effect.
Like if you play the Aang level 3, you play 4 of this. There's like
No question about it.
yeah, no question.
And for
So I guess
once, a quad color card is not yellow. Because for some
Yeah.
reason, all the other quad color cards are all yellow.
Yeah, it's so weird, but yeah. Thank God this one is blue.
Alright, what do you give this?
That's actually the main reason why like blue is pretty easy in that deck,
Yeah, because you
and
splash
only
for
green
this.
and red are hard.
For this, and
Uh,
then some
yeah.
EP healers.
4 of this, some EP healers, some Sokka Rikis. You're
Good.
there. Also, like the back row you need for the level 3 is like blue. Give this a 3, I guess, because it's only in one deck, but in that deck it's very good.
Alright, next we got 0-0 Katara playing with water. When this is placed on stage from hand, you can rest on your standing row avatar characters. If you do, choose 1 card in your level and 1 card in your waiting room, exchange them, and then choose one of your characters. This turn gets plus 500 power. And when it's placed on stage from hand, you can pay 1 if you do. Choose 1 healing lessons in your waiting room and return to hand. If you don't know what healing lesson is, it is your 2-1 event that will allow you to early play your 3-2 Katara combo that we saw earlier.
So the event is you pick up a level 2 or higher Katara from board, and then you can either summon the level 3 from hand and give it hexproof until end of opponent's turn, or you heal a card from clock, give something 3k and send it to memory. Which is like pretty good. Like both of the sides of the event are pretty good, and there's like an argument that the event is like reasonable in some decks just for the heal 1 pump 3k, because 3k is a lot of power. Yeah, Yeah, the Bonder is alright. Like the secondary effect is usually like when you play an experienced deck you don't need this because you will have enough targets that you're fine with leveling. Specifically in the Appa deck, you probably have to play this for the level swap, but like 90% of what you play this for is just a bond to the event.
Mm-hmm. And initially it'll set up your experience, but not always. Two. The only good Ember Island character, when this card on stage is always regarded as Soka, and if you have another Ember Island casting horror in your center stage, so your front row, this gets plus 3k power and plus 1 soul, so it becomes a 4/5 2 soul. And all your other Ember Island character casting horror gets plus 1k. So this is a 4/5 2 soul, and your Aang becomes a 3k.
Yeah, this is actually a good one, but it's like not good enough, I think, because it takes up a lot of slot, and like a lot of packages in this deck already take up a lot of slots.
You want to play 4 and 4 of each.
Yeah, if you play this, you play 4 and 4 of each. Or like maybe 3 yellow, 4 blue, but like usually you should play 4/4.
Yeah.
Of this, like in this lane as well. But probably not worth it. But this is the playable one, so I'll give this one a 2.
At least if you open up one Aang and one Soka, you can try build a board of 4k, 4/5 2 soul, 4/5 2 soul. But that's like if you nut. But it's the only playable one. Alright, and then here we have 0/0 Ember Island players melodramatic. This card on stage is always recorded as Katara. All your other Soka and Aang casting horror, whatever it's called, gets plus 1 level, plus 500 power. And you can actress this to choose one of your characters, and until the end of your opponent's next turn, it gets plus 500 power.
Yo, so you can make your giant walls level 1 so your opponent can't side anymore.
And they can't bond them. 1. I can't wait for someone to break this and throw one of this in their deck. If they put 2 of this in your deck, it's your act enabler for top watch.
I mean, I guess if you already run 4 and 4, maybe you just play one of this. But yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really think about that one too much.
Yeah, it could be your searching top act enabler for the act decks. Alright, next we got 0/0 Soka. All your opponent's character gets pay 2 encore, so this is now 3/5 because of that. And this ability activates up to once per turn. When this card becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of the deck. If it's level 2 or higher, you may rest this. Why would you play this when your girlfriend's better?
No, I mean, this is an oversize, right?
I guess, yeah.
I think...
But as a standalone, this is better. But his girlfriend...
I think this is like one of the better oversizes, actually, because some of the decks end up playing like 20 hits for this. So it's like quite likely to survive. So I think like some decks will pick this as their oversize to play.
Maybe, yeah. 2.
Swimsuit Megumin.
Alright. Oh yeah, that is Swimsuit Megumin. But better. Because, no, basically the same, yeah.
It's Swimsuit Megumin, which is like
a
double R turned into common.
Smoge, man. Alright, we got 1 Katara. When it's placed in stage from hand, this gets plus 1 level and plus 1 key power, so it's a 5/5 level 2. It's important for reasons that we'll go over later. And when it attacks, choose one of your other royal avatar character, and that character gets plus X power until the end of turn. X is equal to the number of other royal avatar characters times 500, so it's a Shibakai, so it can pump 2k full board.
Yeah. This can help your Katara swing over stuff offensively. Can help Appa swing over stuff, can help Azula swing over stuff. It's just generally useful, but usually you will mostly use this power pump over the other ones if you need the level 2 effect for the Katara bounce event.
Yeah, that'll be
because the other power pumps have more utility.
Mm-hmm. This is specifically for a Katara deck.
Yeah.
Alright, 2-star?
2-star, yeah.
Alright, next we got 1/1 Katara is a level assist to roll avatar characters. And then when your character trigger checks reveals a pants trigger, if you have experience 2 or higher, you can discard one card. If you do, check 3, add 1.
It's quite sad. I think this is just like worse than the
Top
like
one.
the top one.
Yeah,
Don't
top
think you
one's
ever
quite good.
played this one.
One. 2-1 Hama, the Bloodbender. If there is a marker underneath this card, this gets +1 key power for each of the other Royal Avatar characters. So if you have a marker, this becomes 10-5 with a full board. And when it's placed on the stage from hand, you may choose one of your other characters, place it underneath this card face down as a marker. And when this card's level 2 or higher, battle point becomes reversed. Reveal the top card of the deck. If that card is a Royal Avatar character, add it to hand. So you sack one of your characters, become a 10-5, and if you get reverse, you can +1, but you have the reverse level 2 or higher, so it might be a bit hard. You're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, the level 2 or higher part is a bit hard. But actually, like, the payoff is pretty strong. If you like, I haven't thought about this too much, but I think if you can get this card to work and like protect it with counters, it gets pretty strong because like not only are you plussing, you're like milling damage of the top, kind of, and like you use the counter, you scry, then this reverses something, you basically scry. So it can scale pretty well, but I'm not sure how you could get this like to really work, to really be
No.
worth it. Also, like a bit annoying that this doesn't work with events. So yeah.
2 or 1.
I think 2 just because this card in theory has potential.
In theory.
But
Most
I
likely it will
can't
not.
think of like, yeah, I can't really think of how to make this work, but I think it's maybe possible.
It's called enough card that has gimmicks that could potentially do well, but probably not. Alright. I think this is the last blue card. Yep. We got the event we were talking about earlier. 2-1 Healing Lessons. You may choose one of your level 2 or higher characters with Katara as a name. There's 2 cards that are 1/0 that becomes level 2. Return to hand. If you do, choose one of the following effects and perform it. You can A. Choose one Katara saving Aang, so the 3-2 we saw, in your hand, place on a stage in any slot, and that character gains the following ability until the end of your opponent's next turn. This cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects, so it gains hexproof. And or B, you can put the top card of your deck into waiting room, choose one of your characters, and that character gets +3 key power until the end of turn, and then put this card into memory. So it only goes to memory if you do the second effect, if you heal. If you do the first effect, it goes straight to your waiting room still. So yeah. So you go -1, but it's 1 stock early play for Katara. You're muted again. You are muted again.
Oh my god, I'm sorry. I keep like I have it on push to talk, but yeah, I should have just like enabled it normally. Yeah, it's like the important part is that it makes the Katara hexproof, which is like the entire reason I think she's like reasonable to play. And the other thing is like, just as a heal 1, pump 3k, it's pretty strong effect, I think.
Tomorrow Friends
It's
plays the shit out of that one, and that one doesn't even pump power.
yeah, I think
Oh, no,
like
that one heals hand. Never mind. That's not just heals wing.
yeah. Like it's a bit sad, and not really sad, but like this you could use like the Katara and like the Shimakai in this event to like pump a lot of power into the Azula, and then like counter like anti-backup for the other Azula, but it's not really that synergistic because like you would use this event to like heal, and Azula already heals, so you're probably 3-0 anyways. And then if you use Sokka to extend, you're not 3-0 anymore anyways, so it's not, doesn't really work that well for that. But I think there's like pretty decent synergy with like the Appa, and yeah, other than that, obviously with the Katara deck, just gives you extra heals.
Alright, we'll just rate this one. If Katara was a 4 or was it a 3, what would you give
I think
it?
it was a 3, so I
Yeah.
guess this one also gets a 3.
Yeah, worth testing out. This is probably like the 4th deck that people will look at, but it is still a deck that people will look at.
I think it has quite a bit of potential. Like in the red meta, it's like very hard to deal with because if the Katara sticks, you probably just win the game unless you get very unlucky.
Mhm.
Because it's like so much damage mitigation. It's like so much mitigation and so much like that you just heal the chip damage away. Like
Mhm.
your opponent just cannot progress the game.
Yep. It's a very powerful defensive combo, but it's still something people will look at. People will look at Aang first or standby first,
Yeah.
and vice versa, and then look at top next. And this is more of the last afterthought finisher, quote unquote finisher. All right, with blue then let's speed run the promos. First, we have 00 Chibi Aang. When it's placed on stage from hand, you can discard a card. If you do, salvage the 1/1 event we talked about earlier.
The 1/1 event sucks, so this one also sucks.
Smooch. 1/0 Chibi Top. This ability activates up to once per turn. When you use an act, this card gains the following ability until the end of turn. When this card's battle points reversed, you can pay 1. If you do, salvage 1 character.
It's a bit small, which is like the big problem because it's on
Yeah,
reverse.
it's small. You can pop up 500 with the.
It's an alright
back row.
effect. Like if you you can pump 500. There's like also a tap to give 1/5. It's okay, but I don't think anything really needs this. But it's like a card. Like if you play a costless, like not costless, like a CX-less level 1 game, you probably play this.
I think the
Yeah.
problem is it's small. If it was bigger, then this would actually be quite good in the top deck because the top deck requires hand, not stock.
Yeah, and you also can like when you counter and win a lane with this, you can
Yeah.
actually salvage something back.
But it's so small though. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
2.
2, I guess. Yeah.
Alright, next we got 00 Chibi Zuko. When it's placed on the stage from hand, choose one. If your opponent has one or less character in their center stage, you can choose one cost or lower character in their center stage to put in the waiting room. And when this card is placed on the stage from hand, perform the following effect. All players perform the following effect. If you have 5 or more memory, choose 4 cards in your memory. Put all your cards in your memory except those cards you chose into the waiting room. So it's a memory flush. So tell your opponent you can't have more than 4. Memory.
If there's ever a OP memory deck, then you can tech this card in. So it's like 1.5.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't bother.
Yeah, it's not like Quince or Mushoku where you can easily access this for the first effect.
Yeah.
Easily.
If you had like you don't
Yeah.
really like the Sokka doesn't even like use this card. So yeah. And you don't like for this profile to be good, you would usually need like on play search this effect.
Yeah. 1/1 Chibi Soka. When it's placed on stage of hand, this gets 5 plus 1500 power, so 7/5 on play, and this ability activates. When this is placed on stage from hand, if you have 4 more other row avatar characters, you may choose 1 row avatar character in your wing room and put a stock. So it's a 7/5 on play, basically 1/0.
Yeah, it's like anti cost 0, anti cost 0 card.
Yeah.
Which is like
good if
too niche.
Good if this was like 3 months ago when Quince was around. With their anti-reverse. Back when Quince was playing 4 anti-reversers.
Yeah.
Alright. 2/1 Katara. When it's placed on stage from hand, this gets plus X power until the end of turn. X is equal to the number of row avatar characters you have times 1k. So you have full board. This is 12k. And when this card's level 2 or higher battle points becomes reverse, you can pay 1. If you do, search your deck for a row avatar character, reveal its opponent, and add a hand shuffle your deck. I think this is better than the bloodbending girl. At least it's more consistent. Muted.
It's like a lot faster to get going. So, but like the defensive payoff is not there, right? So that's like the niche of the bloodbender. But yeah, if you like want another level 2, this is like reasonable. It's quite stock intensive, but actually like not much in your deck actually costs stock, so you can use the stock for like extra searches. Yeah, it's okay too.
Better than a 1.
Yeah.
Going on to the tournament support PRs. We got 3-2
so many
Aang and Momo.
promos, holy.
Yeah, and after that, so there's like 5 of this for tournament store, and then 3 more at the end. When his card is placed on stage from hand, draw 1, discard 1, and if you and then choose one of your opponent's character, return to their hand. and when it's placed on stage of hand, if you have 4 more other royal avatar characters, you may stock one. So it's a 1 stock bouncer basically.
It's a good card, but nothing really needs or wants the bouncer.
It's meta dependent.
But it's a good card. So yeah, meta dependent too.
But then you have the Zuko that we'll talk about later. That's also probably better. You can combo it with this though. 3/2 Toph. When it's placed in stage from hand, you can heal one, and then when this card direct attacks, you can pay 1, discard 1, burn 1.
I mean, it's the best vanilla healer in the set, so you should actually pick like 1 copy of this up at least.
2.
2, yeah.
Thank you, Alphonsus, for the tier 1 sub for 19 months in a row now. He says, for the Melon Lord. What was the Melon Lord card again?
The Melon Lord was the stock swap.
Oh, yeah. True. That card is poggers. Alright, we got 1/1 Iroh. When your other World Avatar character attacks, this gets plus X power until the end of turn. X is equal to the number of your other World Avatar character times 500. So it gets 2k. If you have full board, it's 2k for each attack, 10k max. And it's hand and core.
Some sets play this, but I don't think it's like good here. Usually when you play this, it's because you have like a reverse combo that you can stack this onto.
So Assault Lily played this, and Ruby played this.
Yeah, and also in AOT, like if you play the level 1 bar, you can play the 1/1 Historia.
Yeah, but aside from those specific niche, this is what you play.
Yeah.
What'd you get this?
I guess 1 in this set because it doesn't have a use case.
Yeah, 1 in the set. Imagine the level 0 top gave on reverse instead of being on reverse itself.
Then this card becomes interesting, right?
Yeah, unfortunate. 2/2 Zuko and Mai. This gets plus 2k for each other World of Avatar character in backstage, so it's 11k. So I was wrong. The blue one was
this one is actually bigger.
But this is probably still worse.
The other one has better utility, yeah.
2? Or 1?
2, yeah. I guess 2 because this is in theory playable if you really want 11k instead of 10.5.
And at least they're cheap together.
Yeah.
0/0 Katara. When it's placed on stage from hand, choose up to 1 of your opponent's characters sent to memory, and your opponent plays that card from memory to a stage in any slot. So there's a blink or flicker. And when it's attacked, choose 1 of your level 2 or higher character this turn, and it gets plus 3k power. It's 3k pump to level 2.
This is like niche playable for the Azula combo because it's the biggest power pump, and it also like
sometimes removes.
Yeah, some lingering power effects like gain cross turn power with combo or something, and you can just flicker that, or like stuff like Shirogane. So yeah, 2.
All right, now we're going into this. Is PR is unknown. It's either a monthly store PR or a Avatar Title Cup PR, something like that. We got 3/2 Zuko. If your opponent has a level 3 or higher character, this gets -1 level in hand. During your turn, if you have 4 more other World Avatar characters, so you have a full board, this gets plus 5k in the following ability. During this card's battle, your opponent cannot play events or backups from hand. And during your turn, when this card's battle point is reversed, you can pay 1. If you do, deal 1 damage to your opponent. So it's 14k if your opponent. So it's a 14k EP healer that will basically blanket everything.
No, not EP, but 14k EP.
I mean, just EP, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it's also one of the few, like basically the only off CX finisher apart from like the Toph we just saw that burns on direct attack. But it's only a burn 1. But it's red. Red doesn't have a lot of good cards. So it probably goes in a 4-color deck if you're not playing like the level 1 red card. Just as like red card that has a soul trigger that also has like okay utility. Yeah.
Niche usable with without contest board because the Avatar deck, the 4-color deck, will not contest board after 1.
There's like a lot of like small things that the deck
needs
could have a use for. Yeah.
Would like that needs.
Vanilla.
Okay, 1.
Yeah, 1.
Collectible. And this should be the BCS, yes. So this is, I think, is shop challenge PR card.
Yeah, 8 choice is not playable, so this is not playable.
Yeah, to read the effect, on attack, yes, plus expire X is equal to number of your other World Avatar characters you have times 1k. So it's a 7/5 on attack with Soul Trigger. 8 choice is not playable, so this is quite bad. And that is it for the... Wait, we're missing one PR. No, she didn't include the Qatar PR.
It's fine.
I actually think that was quite good though. 0/0 on play, it was like check your top card deck, keep on top percent away.
Oh, it's the
and then
check X,
and then on play you can pay 1, discard a character, check the top X cards of your deck, and add 1 card from among them. X is equal to the number of your other characters.
If you want like ways to dig for climax, the card is alright. Yeah.
Yeah, so that can potentially dig 5 because you have the scry as well.
Yeah.
We'll get that one too.
Yeah.
Even though it's on here. All right. 3.5 hours. Thank you, Mr. Christian Yalbrucker, for coming on.
Yeah.
Before you go, give us your final rating for the set overall, and any deck that you're excited for.
So I think it's a good set overall. I'm like a bit disappointed that like there's like a lot of tiny things missing that they could have given the set that wouldn't have made it like broken, but would have made deck building a lot nicer, made the decks like a lot more smooth. Red clean cut, for example, would have been very, very helpful. But yeah, I think overall the set is still gonna be good and is actually gonna like maybe not impact the meta, but will be played and will be like strong enough to like be played and that you have to think about it. Decks, like I think that the obvious decks are like the Aang 4-color deck, probably with top level 1. Azula level 1 also exists, but it's like a bit harder to make. The other obvious decks are like 8 standby, 8 pants, and 8 bar. Other than that, you can make like the Azula decks, like Azula with either Appa combo or with the other Azula combo or with pants, yeah. Actually, like Azula pairs probably with most of the things, yeah.
Yes.
Other than that, yeah. I mean, that's already like most of the climax combos in the set that you can make something with.
My only sad thing is they wasted 2 level 0 combos on either really bad combos, or they could have been like additional level 3s that.
Yeah, it could have been a level 2 combo. The set doesn't have a level 2. Well, actually,
it does have level 2.
Has the level 2 early play. Yeah. It could have been like another level 1 combo, or like give 1 color more than 1 level 3 combo per color.
I just really wish there was just a choice finisher.
Yeah.
Just so you can play 8 choice.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
With second set, I guess.
Legend of Korra set for Age. Although would it still have World of Avatar trait? I guess she is. It still is the World of Avatar.
They future-proof themselves.
Poggers.
Okay.
Alright, and what's your final rating
for the set?
It
was nice being on here. I guess 4.
Sounds good. That's what most people give for their sets. No one's brave enough to give a 5.
Really? Okay, yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone.
Like, I don't see how Puzzle and Dragons didn't get a 5, but
I guess the Puzzle Dragon was like a weird one because you need to worry about traits to extent, trading colors to extent. So there could be like some reason to not want it, but if you actually look at the set as whole, they push the fuck out of those effects that require traits and stuff. But yeah, good to have you on the show. Any shoutouts you want to give?
Shout out to Strictly Broken. That's about it.
All right, sounds good. And last but not least, shout outs to our sponsor, YC Time. Thanks for making these slides. And if you want Avatar cards, check out Strictly Broken TCG. All right, thanks you guys. Bye bye.